In St. Louis are a tradition like nowhere else. A place where hope and an expectation of excellence converge beneath the arch. The birds on the bat are baseball history, and the stars who wear the uniform now honor the legends who wore it before. Stan, Bob, and Timmy pass the baton to the Wizard, Willie, and Bruce. And more recently to future Hall of Famers Roland, Albert, and Yachty. With 11 world championships, the pride of the Cardinals is over a century old and forged from millions of unforgettable moments. This Cardinals team has that same championship DNA, speed and strength, experience and wisdom, sure hands, quick feet, a powerful presence, known stars, and stars in the making. The winding path of the mighty Mississippi mirrors this summer's schedule. The ebb and flow of 162 games leads to one unanswered question. How will history remember the 2023 Cardinals? And we begin to answer that question with game one of a new year. We welcome you to Busch Stadium here in St. Louis, Missouri. The Cardinals and the Toronto Blue Jays, Brad Thompson, on an absolutely perfect day for baseball. What a spectacular opening day.
Could not be any better. That ceremony, it was basically 45 minutes of goosebumps is what you had. So many emotions going through and so many memories that were shared here in the last 45 minutes. And now looking forward to 162 games, the long haul of 2023, and it looks like the Cardinals, they're ready for it.
So is Paul Goldschmidt, so is Nolan Arenado, as you'd expect in the opening day lineup for the Cardinals. Goldschmidt, the MVP season. Arenado finished third. Cardinals fans hoping for similar production this year.
Pretty good pillars to have right there to build off of those two, and not just two of your best players, but two of your hardest workers. That's not shocking to anybody out there. You make some additions outside the organization. Contreras comes in. You've got the young studded Jordan Walker. There are so many things as you look at this Cardinals lineup. You think, man, this could be very deep. Pitching staff looks good. It has got a chance to be a very fun year.
Well, we have another great member of our broadcast team here. Multiple Emmy Award-winning Jim Hayes is with us on opening day. And Jim, this Cardinal club is back together after they scattered to the winds during the WBC.
Yeah, and a lot of pieces, a lot of guys with talent. Among them, Lars Nootbaar. Lars was already a fan favorite and popular with his teammates. The World Baseball Classic made him an international sensation. Newt and the Pepper Grinder took Japan by storm. Newt told me it was humbling. He told me the popularity of the Pepper Grinder celebration took him totally by surprise. He just rolled with it. He called the experience with Team Japan life-changing. And Chip, by the way, it was Andrew Kisner and Newt that came up with the Pepper Grinder thing. They told me they might be moving on.
Really?
They might be changing spice with their getting on base celebration. It could involve salt. We'll have to see, but they said they're moving on from the Pepper Grinder, leaving that overseas. They're going to change spices, so I'm told we'll have to see.
Well, we can't wait for that.
That's breaking news.
That's big news. That's the second biggest news today behind Jordan Walker, Brad. He made the ball club out of spring training. What was going through his head, you think, during this pregame ceremony in St. Louis?
I'm sure he was floating through all of it. Jordan Walker got an enormous ovation by the thousands and thousands of Cardinal fans who have been following him the last few years. You keep hearing about the hype. You got to see it in spring training as he had the chance to hit his way onto the team. That's exactly what he did, but it wasn't just the bat. It's the arm, it's the glove, it's the speed, and it's the young man. It's the poise that he has, the ability to turn the page quickly, whether it's good or bad. He's wise beyond his years, and it's good to see him. And it's good to see that guy, Wilson Contreras, a little bit different. First time we've seen somebody other than number 4 behind the plate as he's representing number 4 on the cleats. There is Wilson Contreras. but great to have around. I think he's ingrained himself with his staff well, Chip.
How about this 3-4-5 part of the lineup for the Cardinals with Goldschmidt, Arenado, and Contreras now batting for Ollie?
I think about lineups as an opposing pitcher, and Chip, there weren't too many lineups that I like to face as an opposing pitcher, but this is one where it would scare you quite a bit with those guys in the middle of it. Then you think about the table setters that you have. Brendan Donovan off the top, who got on base at a 394 clip last year. Oh, by the way, he's showing off more power in spring training. Nude is up at the top. I think we can see some moving and shaking in that 2 spot in the lineup, but there is danger top to bottom in this lineup.
Oliver Marmol, the skipper, his second year at the helm with the Cardinals, was talking to us before the game, and he talked about how he envisions this Cardinal lineup facing major league opponents this year. Dangerous was a word he used an awful lot.
For sure. Dangerous and relentless. And those are the two things that this club has got a chance to be. We talk about that 3-4-5 in the middle. How about 6, 7, 8, 9 today? When you look at so much danger, that could be O'Neill, Gorman with the adjustments that he made in spring training, Walker, and then Tommy Edman at the end of it. This is a deep lineup. It's a very good ball club. Everybody's optimistic coming out of spring, right? But not everybody has this same nucleus and this team that the Cardinals have. They should be optimistic.
One of the big changes for the Cardinals defensively this year is Tyler O'Neill is going to play center field every day, at least to start the season for the Cardinals. What did you see from Tyler defensively first and offensively down in Jupiter?
Well, we've seen him range center field anyhow. He's the fastest outfielder that the Cardinals have, and I think that over the last couple of years, he's really done a good job of being able to utilize his speed in a good way. He keeps his head calm. He's able to get to the gaps very, very well. So center field is going to be easy for him to play. Easy's relative, but he's a natural athlete. And then offensively, he just looked more consistent. That Chip, the big thing is he's healthy. He's healthy right now. So this is a guy that got MVP votes 2 years ago. You know the skill set. He proved to you that he can hit for average, hit for power, do a lot of things. Now he's got a chance to show it in 2023.
So Miles Michaelis ready to go, and here are your 2023 Cardinals. With Adam Wainwright on the injured list to start the season, Miles Michaelis gets the ball on opening day.
Yeah, and all things being equal, with the year that he had, he earned this opportunity. His second start on opening day, first one at home. He has been very good at home throughout his career. Was good again at home last year. But Miles Michaelis, this is coming off of a couple of years, Chip. In 2020 and 2021, he had pitched 44 2/3 inning total combined over those 2 years. Last year ended up with 202 1/3 innings. He was an all-star again. See how deep he gets into ball games, pitching past the 6th inning, oftentimes 22 quality starts. Got signed during spring training, a 2-year extension. He is a leader on this pitching staff. The Hyundai pitch arsenal for Miles Michaelis uses the 4-seam well, especially late with 2 strikes. Very good slider. The curveball also. He'll use those pitches to get ahead and then oftentimes finish off hitters with the fastball.
Well, he's got a real tough lineup to face on opening day. The Toronto Blue Jays, Brad, are a sexy pick to maybe unseat the Yankees in the AL East. John Schneider is their manager. George Springer will lead off and play right field. Springer's battled health injuries for the last couple of years. Bo Bichette, Vlad Jr., the Gold Glover at first base. They acquired Dalton Varsho. Notice a few more left-handed bats in the lineup for the Blue Jays, and they hope to be improved defensively too north of the border.
They needed balance. They got that with the additions of Belt, Varsho, Kiermaier, as you mentioned. That's something they were heavily right-handed, and defensively they will shore things up with those guys.
So look at the Cardinals defense presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers.
Jordan Walker, the young man making his debut, much anticipated in right field. Tyler O'Neill in center. Lars Nootbaar. Noot's out in left, from left to right in the infield. It's Arenado, Edman, Donovan, the MVP Paul Goldschmidt, and Wilson Contreras making his Cardinal debut behind the plate.
So the time for talking is over. The time for playing is at hand. Miles Michaelis ready with the first pitch of a new season in St. Louis. And we are underway with ball 1 downstairs. Dan Iasonia is our home plate umpire for game 1 of our series. And George Springer, the Toronto leadoff man. Had a good rip and fouled straight back. Springer's another guy that plays so hard. 133 games. Got hurt last year. 25 homers, 76 ribbies. They've moved him to right to try to take some wear and tear off of his body. And like Michaelis missed outside at 89, 2 balls and a strike.
And George Springer is one of those guys. He doesn't allow you to ease into a ball game. Tons of pop off the top. Big home run power.
Little dribbler toward third at the line. That is going to trickle foul. And Springer back to the plate with a 2-2 count.
That looked like that might have a chance to save fair right there. Do you know that Nolan Arenado was licking his chops? That's something that Miles Michaelis gets a lot of. We've talked before about the strikeout totals for Miles Michaelis. Not up there with people that you would term the ace, right? But he gets so much weak contact, and that's where having a guy like Nolan Arenado and having all these very good gloves around the infield, they're going to be busy with Miles Michaelis on the mound.
Yeah, that gold's there for a reason. You might as well use it. Let's see what he does on a 2-2 count for Springer. And that's rifled toward right. Walker will play that on a big hop. So the first hit of the new season belongs to George Springer. And he's aboard to start the top of the first.
You like the idea against Springer, trying to finish him with the fastball elevated in the zone. Unfortunately, just tails back, catches a little bit more of the plate than Miles Michaelis was hoping for. And a good job by Springer of taking it the other way.
So that brings up Bo Bichette, one of the best hitting shortstops in baseball, and you are on red alert with the very first pitch when this guy's in the box.
Well, he's also one of those guys you don't want to flick a breaking ball in there for strike one.
Bichette last year 24 homers, 93 driven in. More runs and RBIs the last 2 years than any other shortstop in the major leagues. And yes, the son of the great Dante Bichette. And there's that big swing.
Pretty good bloodline for sure. A guy that likes to get extended, as I mentioned. He likes to hit off speed, also very comfortable. Miles being able to get that fastball in on him. You see Bichette closes off a little bit in his stance. That's an important thing to do to be able to open up a way.
There's a breaking ball, a beauty. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, new shift rules in effect. That's about as far as the infield can shift around at the second base bag. Donovan is a couple of steps away from the middle pillow. The pitch off the plate.
We saw it in our limited action in spring training. Balls are sneaking through, certainly. Mostly it's your left-handed power hitters that you've seen a lot of, and maybe a guy like Dalton Varsho, who pulls the ball a lot for the Blue Jays, will see that pay dividends. But balls are in play and finding spots.
Lined into center field softly. That's in for a hit. Springer will stop at second, and the Jays have back-to-back singles to start.
Sometimes you make your pitch and you don't get the result that you wanted. That's exactly the case right here with Miles Michaelis. This pitch is about 8 to 10 inches in off the plate, but Bichette does a good job of getting the hands to it, and he's strong enough to serve it out there.
So the table's set for Vlad Jr. 32 homers last year, played every game but 2 for Toronto last year. Michaelis 2 on, nobody out.
That Chip, I made the mistake as we were getting ready for this game to watch every single one of the home runs he hit last year. I wouldn't do that if I were a Cardinal pitcher. Don't go back and look at any of that. But he's got big time power. He just got to stay out of the middle.
Just off the plate. Miles has fallen behind all 3 Toronto hitters to start the game, and Guerrero now in the driver's seat. 2 balls, no strikes.
It's one of those different animals too about starting an opener is the timing. Everything gets thrown off, so that first inning difficult to get honed in.
Pop fly foul. It's 2 balls and a strike. Guerrero did not participate in the World Baseball Classic. He had some knee issues, but good enough to go on opening day. This guy has one of the highest exit velocities of any player in the major leagues.
He hurts everything.
Fly ball center. O'Neill going back. Glasses gleaming shy of the track, and he'll put that away for out number 1. Springer will tag and move up, and they've got runners at the corners with 1 out. So there's the first out. Now double play gets you out of the inning. Let's see if Dalton Varsho can provide that. You mentioned Brad, how Michaelis likes to get the ball on the ground. That's something the Cardinals staff did exceptionally well last year.
Yeah, they did. They induced an MLB most 157 ground ball double plays last season. I mean, so that is something that they get into some jams, but they can get themselves out of. This is a good candidate here.
Varsho, the former Diamondback, takes a little low.
Yeah, Varsho can move a little bit, Chip, so you're going to have to be quick, but he hits the ball hard also.
And he fills a couple of needs for the Jays. Left-handed balance, and he's a plus defender in the outfield. Starting in left today for the Blue Jays, the pitch. What's going through his head? You know, he wants to make a positive impression in his first game in Toronto.
You always want to make your best impression, but you got to realize that it's just one at bat at a time, right? They went out and traded for him for a reason, and he's going to be able to help out a lot. Just hopefully not right here.
Two balls and a strike.
I enjoyed watching Varsho last year, Chip. Is you know, anybody that can play center field and catch for you on a team, I'd say is fairly valuable. That's what he did for the Diamondbacks.
Runners at the corners and fouled back 2-2. You could say he's a modern day version of Craig Biggio.
Yes.
Not built like Craig, but you're right. Play center and catch. That's a rare and coveted combination.
Yeah, you don't see that, and this Toronto Blue Jays team will not be asking him to do any catching. Kirk and Danny Jansen, they got that covered.
Kirk's on deck. First the 2-2. It's fouled away. Michaelis ready again with his 2-2. And fought off foul. Heavy workload for Michaelis here in the first.
Well, you mentioned it early, just him falling behind a couple of hitters. Pitch count up to 20 right now. Just that one pitch away, though, from 21 pitches and out of the inning.
Golf down the right field line and off the netting foul. Tell you what, they're not swinging and missing. They're fouling some stuff off here and fouling it off hard.
Well, he might be new to the club, but he's fitting in just fine. I mean, this is exactly what this Toronto Blue Jays team did last year. They hit the ball hard. They hit for average. They're dangerous top to bottom, and Varsho just adds to that.
Highest team batting average in the big leagues was held by the Blue Jays last year. As Michaelis tries again with another 2-2. And a full count. Let's see if Bichette gets a head start from first with one man out. We've got the catcher Kirk waiting on deck. Runner holds, pitch lined into the right field corner for a base hit. A run will score. Bichette on his way to third. Throw comes in towards second, off target, and Toronto, with 3 hits in the first inning, takes a 1-0 lead. Big league at bat by Varsho.
It really was. Fouled off some pitches, took some close one, then ended up driving one. It's a fastball from Miles Michaelis. Just caught too much of the plate right here. He had gotten away with one earlier in the at bat that was fouled back. This time not so much. Varsho drops the head and drives it.
So a happy welcome to Toronto for Varsho, his first RBI. And now Alejandro Kirk is the hitter. Again, we do have the pitch clock, which is worth talking about here. How do you slow the game down when you have as much traffic as Miles has had in the first inning?
Yeah, you want to be able to collect yourself, collect your thoughts, take your time, but you only have 20 seconds in between pitches now with runners on base. So for Miles Michaelis, he's been around the block. He knows himself very well. It just comes down to executing now.
And I would assume damage control here, right?
For sure. And well-timed visits, whether that visit comes from Contreras or from Dusty Blake, if in fact they feel like with Kirk maybe he falls behind and they want to go talk to him at some point.
Another looper into center field. That's in for a hit. Here comes Varsho around third. There'll be no play at the plate. And the Blue Jays have scored 3 in the first inning.
Well, wasn't hit hard, didn't have to be. It was the curveball from Miles Michaelis. just right off the end of the bat from Kirk, and finds itself some grass out there plating two. I'm going to give Miles Michaelis a little bit of a breather here. We talked about when are you going to slow him down. Dusty Blake, the new Cardinal pitching coach, decided now might be a good time here in the opener to see if they could get him honed right back in. But you know, with this offense that we were talking about, 3 runs isn't going to kill you in the first inning, but you got to stop the bleeding and you got to get him deeper into the game.
And in fairness to Michaelis, not all of these 4 hits were exactly cannon shots, but they were hit where the Cardinals couldn't catch it.
Well, 2 specifically, that one we just showed you from Kirk, and the jam job that Bo Bichette was able to serve into center field. And that's probably some of the talking point with Dusty. Dusty say, hey, I'm going to give you a breather. 26 pitches, you're working hard. Keep doing what you're doing. You're going to be just fine.
Let's see if Miles can get ahead of a hitter. He's only thrown strike 1 to 1 of the first 5 he's faced. And now Brandon Belt, the hitter, another acquisition for Toronto on a 1-year deal. He's the DH.
Well, and that is Miles right there with the changeup, just trying to pull out something a little bit different. Doesn't use the changeup a ton. Might be something that he focuses on a little bit more this year. Back-to-back just got under those. That changeup, when he throws it right, has good downward action. Looks just like the sinker.
Double play in order for Belt, who hit 8 homers last year but was hurt for much of the season. And 2 balls and a strike.
Sure, this is very weird for Brandon Belt, too. Spent his entire career in the Bay Area. He ends up north of the border.
To center, and Tyler's got that. Back to first is Kirk. There's the second out. And that'll bring up the Jays third baseman Matt Chapman. He and Nolan Arenado, high school teammates out in California. You talk about gold and platinum glovers. Well, they're on display this first series in St. Louis.
Good luck putting a ball in play against that team. I'm sure that was a lot of fun for the opposition.
Chapman, a 27 homer man, didn't hit for a high average, just 229. He's a free agent to be.
Yeah, he's looking for another one of those bounce back seasons. You mentioned the home run, didn't hit for average though. Really expanded his zone a lot last year, and you wonder if that's just him, new place, trying to do something a little bit more. You look around the league. The league is littered by talented players that once played for the A's or Pirates, helping out other ball clubs.
1 ball, 1 strike. And a squibber. That's going to find some green grass in right. Off the end of the bat for Chapman. That's the 5th Toronto hit here in the first inning. And Kirk will stop at second with 2 men out.
Again, not hit hard, didn't have to be. The shift is on. Donovan's playing up the middle. You're playing towards the tendencies. If you're playing straight up, you probably have it, but he very rarely hits the ball there.
So it's death by 1,000 cuts right now for the Cardinals, who trail by 3, and Whit Merrifield is up. He came over from Kansas City last year. Action's begun in the Cardinals bullpen as Michaelis now approaching 35 pitches in the opening inning.
Yeah, I mean, this is less than ideal. Obviously, Chris Stratton is getting up, and Stratton will likely serve right now, the way things are, as more of a long guy, or at least a bridge guy for extra innings.
Little tapper foul.
But need some more of that from Miles. Just needs that weak contact at somebody, unfortunately. Yeah. That's been the issue.
Not the start that Ollie had hoped for Miles Michaelis, but if you're going to have a bad inning, have it in the first.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he knows this about Miles, too. He gets back in there, sits down for a minute. All of a sudden, you look up, it's the 5th inning, and he's still in there.
And let's not forget, Alek Manoah finished his bullpen warm-ups about 20 minutes ago. Let's see what effect that has on him in the first inning.
That's a really good point for Manoah. It's going to be his first opening day start also. We talked about the timing. That's not just the home pitcher. That's both the guys.
2-strike count. Strike 3 ends the inning. 36 pitches for Michaelis. Toronto tags him for 3, and the Cardinals are coming up. Donovan, Nootbaar, and Paul Goldschmidt here in the first. Was brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. By CarShield. CarShield cars go farther. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at Mid-America Chevy dealers. Chip and Brad with you from St. Louis. Toronto scores 3 in the first. And now we'll see what the Cardinals lineup has in store for Alek Manoah, who, as Brad said a moment ago, is making his first opening day start for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, and another guy that earned his opening day start, third in the Cy Young race over in the American League, an innings eater and a competitor. This guy comes right after you.
The pride of West Virginia, Alek Manoah delivers a strike to Brendan Donovan. A look at the Cardinals lineup. Any surprises here for you?
You know what? I think it's going to be interesting. I love Donovan off the top. Newton, the 2-hole, no surprises. Jordan Walker, a lot of people saying, why are you batting 8th? Ease him into things. Debut, don't put all the pressure on the young man.
And so Alek Manoah, big man, 6'6", 285, Brad, but he doesn't throw 97.
He pitches like he does, though. He goes right after you with the fastball. Look at the numbers last year. Low ERA, bunch of strikeouts. Doesn't give you too many free passes. I would say, too, with him, he's effectively wild because he's uncomfortable for right-handed hitters. He's led the league in hit by pitches the last 2 years, but he'll ride one in and then dot down and away.
Brendan Donovan leads off for the Cardinals. 2 balls and a strike to him. And now 3-1. Donovan, 281 average, finished 3rd in the Rookie of the Year race last year. And this is what he does, right?
This is it every time. He is a pest up there, and I mean that with all due respect.
Bouncing ball foul, and Guerrero can't make the play. In fair territory, that is. 3 balls, 2 strikes for Donovan.
Well, we saw the power for Donovan in spring training. 4 home runs. You see it in his setup. He's upright a little bit more in his stance, then gets down into it as the pitch is coming. He's changed his bat model, went with that hockey puck handle, and he's just realizing that there is more power to be had for him while still keeping those on-base skills.
Broken bat, and Chapman can't get it. Bichette does. High throw. That one sails into the Cardinal dugout. And Donovan at second to lead off the home first.
Well, an early key to this game, don't hit it hard, okay? If you don't hit it hard, you're going to be in good shape. This one saws him off. It's a good fastball inside. Bichette trying to make a perfect play. You're going to have to with Donovan running. He can't do it. Throws it into the dugout, and Cardinals got something going early.
So a chance for the Cardinals to get a run or two here in the first, and Lars Nootbaar, your batter. Sensational second half for Nootbaar and an unforgettable WBC for Team Japan. And our first chance, as the Cat reported earlier, Brad, to maybe see the salt shaker, not the pepper grinder.
Boy, I mean, I just wondered what it's going to look like. I mean, is it a shaker? Is it Salt Bay? I mean, I really wonder.
Manoah delivers a strike. What's his Hyundai pitch arsenal?
Well, you know, Alek Manoah's guy likes his fastball a lot. You'll see it a ton. Then uses the slider. Every once in a while you see the changeup. He's sprinkled in a couple of them so far, but I'm looking mainly fastball, slider from Manoah.
Good lead by Donovan at second. And a late swing for Lars. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This man on the mound had an unbelievable September. Went 4-0 with a .88 ERA over 6 starts.
That's pretty good.
And helped Toronto get to the postseason, where they lost to the Seattle Mariners. The pitch in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So he earned his opening day assignment with a great finish for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, he definitely did. I mean, this is a guy that only had a little over 30 innings in the minor leagues in his career before being called up a couple of years ago, and they just love his makeup. Love the way that he goes out and competes.
He said at the workout yesterday his grandfather always wore a Cardinals cap. Now he's facing the Cardinals on opening day in 2023.
Yeah, he said it was pretty special. Last year when the Blue Jays had the opportunity to come here, his father got to come to the game and kind of share in some of those memories as well.
Full count pitch. Inside. Cardinals grinding out at bats. Infield hit and now a walk. And the table's set for the heart of the Cardinals order. First, though, a look at the Toronto defense presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. That man was the Gold Glove winner at first base in the American League last year.
Well, it's not just a big bat, right? You got him with Merrifield. They traded for him. Bo Bichette, arguably the best hitting shortstop in the game. Varsho Kiermaier and George Springer across the outfield.
So the reigning MVP in the National League has a chance to tie the game in his first at bat. A little low. Ball one. I think we're seeing some first inning jitters from both starters.
Yeah, I think you are. And I think that you're seeing the routine get thrown off a little bit for both these guys due to the timing with the festivities of opening day. Both of them I expect to settle in. Hopefully the Cardinals can cash in here.
Big swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's the one you want right there. That was 96. It ended up tailing back in. Manoah was looking to go away with that one. But this is how you set it up. This is why you have Donovan, Nootbaar off the top, table setters for your table clearers.
Outfield straight away for Goldschmidt. Old foul off his thumbs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 115 RBIs for Paul Goldschmidt last year, 41 doubles in his age 35 year. Springer playing very shallow and right. Maybe Goldie can shoot one over his head, but he's down to his last strike. Way outside. Manoah overthrew that. 2-2.
Well, just like we were talking about with Vlad Guerrero and Bichette, I mean, these are guys you better be very careful. I don't know how good your stuff is. Doesn't matter. You have to make your pitches against a guy like Goldie. If not, he's going to hurt you and tie this thing up in a hurry.
Two on, nobody out. Fouled straight back. Man, the hitters are getting good looks.
They really are. They really are against two very good pitchers. You see, too, get a look at Alek Manoah. He's calling his own game there. He's got pitch comm. It was something that Major League Baseball tested out in spring training to see if the pitchers could call their own pitches. They weren't sure if they were going to carry over into the season. They have, and they're liking it.
Three and two. Donovan worked a deep count, reached on an infield hit and an error. Nootbaar walks. Goldschmidt behind 1-2, now 3-2 to him. The mindset for the Cardinals, according to Ollie, command the strike zone. They're doing that here in the first. Haven't broken through yet. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. And Goldschmidt is out number 1. There's that wicked slider. 2 on, 1 out. What are your Toyota keys to the game?
Well, he spotted that one really well. The key to the game, though, against Alek Manoah is hunt that heater, that fastball that he throws so often. If you get one, especially early in the count, let it rip. Be ready for it. That's going to be the key to chasing Manoah from this game.
Well, how do you finish third of the MVP race? You do damage with men on base. That's what Nolan Arenado did for the Cardinals last year. 24 doubles with men on base last year and 20 home runs. And now Kirk with the defensive signals behind the plate. They reset the clock for Nolan, who hit 30 bombs last year. Fly ball hit toward left. Varsho can't get it. That's down on the warning track. Donovan scores. Streaking to third is Nootbaar, and the Cardinals are on the board. Break it back, you get a hit.
Don't look to barrel anything up. It's not one of those kind of days, at least early. Tailing sinker from Manoah, trying to go away, ends up in off the plate, but the strength and the bat speed of Nolan Arenado, he drives it out to left, and the Cardinals got something shaking.
And welcome to St. Louis, Wilson Contreras. Listen to this crowd.
Well, you know that this is an exciting moment right here for Wilson Contreras. They're going to talk it over. It's Pete Walker, the pitching coach with the Toronto Blue Jays with Manoah, but this is where he wanted to be. Contreras talked about watching Albert Pujols and watching the Cardinals and seeing that and saying, man, and picturing himself in this uniform. Here he is getting the chance.
Well, that's the key. As the great Harry Doyle said, it's funny how your perception changes depending on which uniform a guy wears, right?
I love this guy. Hated him a year ago.
First and third, 2-run game. He idolized Yadier Molina. Now he's following him in the Cardinal uniform. That's what he did with the Cubs in 113 games. And he's in a spot where a fly ball could get you a second run. And another breaking ball, a strike. Time for our front door expert approach. It is jarring not to see Yadi starting on opening day, isn't it?
It is. It is for sure. There's, this game keeps going even without the best of them. But the Cardinals got themselves a very, very good replacement in Contreras.
It was down 2 quick strikes. And that's off the netting foul. It's no secret that at the end of Yadi's career with the Cardinals, he was a bit offensively challenged. I would assume that Contreras will improve on that.
Oh, yeah, I would think so. I would think so. And it has throughout his career. He's been one of the best hitting catchers in the game of baseball, and that's what they loved about him. And the fact that he's getting better behind the plate.
Good take there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Toronto has a 20-23 shift on. Merrifield close to the second base bag. A lot of room between first and second with a 1-2 pitch. Shot towards second, and Merrifield is there. He did try to fill that hole, but went in the right place at the wrong time for the Cardinals catcher, and 2 men are out. So after Miles Michaelis threw 36 pitches in his first inning, Manoah's up to 25, and he'll face Canadian native Tyler O'Neill. He's amped up today.
He is for sure, and not just because he's playing the Blue Jays on opening day. He's looking to forget last year, throw it out, start fresh here in 2023.
Well, Brad, he's had a knack for doing special things on opening day. I think it's safe to say.
Well, opening day has gone well for him. He's homered in 3 straight opening days the last 3 years. The record is 4. Can he tie it? There are 3 others tied with 4 home runs. Tyler looking to add his name to the list.
Right here, right now would be just fine. The pitch in the dirt. And an even count, a ball and a strike. Toronto got 3 in the top of the first. Cardinals have answered with an Arenado RBI single. 3-1 game. And does Kirk have an equipment problem or a pitch com problem? Or did some dirt get him in the eye? I think that's the case. So Alejandro Kirk will need some medical attention here briefly. So while they attend to Alejandro Kirk, we'll remind you the MLB Ballpark app completes your next visit to Busch Stadium. Buy and manage your game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. How about Adam Wainwright? Big cheer and the national anthem.
That was unbelievable with Adam today. If you missed it, that guy, Adam Wainwright, number 50, did the national anthem today. He nailed it. It was perfect. The crowd went wild. It appeared as if his teammates had no idea that he was going to be doing it because they were shocked when he came off the line.
Kirk ready behind the plate. The 1-1 pitch from Manoah. Off his thumbs and strike 2. Boy, it'd be great to get another run here as you look at the batter's circle. The shadows beginning to creep out, which will make things more difficult for the hitters. First and third, 2-run game. The pitch. A swing and a miss, and that'll retire the side. Cardinals get 1 back. We're through 1 at Busch. 3-1 Toronto. Good news. First round's on Brad.
Wow. Well, you're the new guy. I mean, I feel like if you want to really ingrain yourself with Cardinal fans, that might be I'll come with you.
Oh, well, then
like Chip's here, and he brought his wallet.
We can definitely talk about that after the Cardinals come back and win. 31-minute first inning. So much for the pace of play rules.
Well, there are scripts that you have in your head coming into a ball game. The script I had in my head was fast. Both of these guys.
As Kevin Kiermaier pops that one toward Walker in right. And his first catch, no trouble with the glasses gleaming. One man out.
But I think that both of these guys are ready to settle in. You know, it was we saw spring training. We saw how quickly things worked. We saw a great spring training for Miles Michaelis. Sometimes you just got to get that one out of the way. And veteran guys have a little bit easier time of getting right back to it instead of just hanging on that first inning.
So back to the top of the order, a strike for George Springer. It's amazing. It doesn't matter if it's your first big league game or you've been doing it for 13, 14 years. Your first outing, I'm sure there's nerves.
There are jitters for sure every time out.
Another broken bat and another base hit. George Springer's 2 for 2.
Uncle with the broken bats. Another very good, well-located sinker in. Shatters the bat of Springer, but nothing to show for it for Miles Michaelis.
6 hits for the Blue Jays. Here's Bo Bichette. He singled and scored the second Toronto run. One thing Miles hasn't done yet is get the ball on the ground, which, as you showed early in the game, is his calling card.
It really is. It really is the MO of Miles, and he does it a lot. It's not always his sinker. He gets a lot of his sliders reached for and then get that ground ball. How about a 6-4-3 here? Love to see it with that slider here. We just talked about Bichette in his first at bat, how well he hits off-speed pitches. Doesn't mean you can't throw it. It just means you have to locate it.
Hung up breaking ball, and Bichette out in front, thankfully. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Don't do that. That's the one. That's the one. The big bender up in the zone. If you bury it, you can get him. But you got to make sure that you make your pitch.
Yeah, not to this team. The Blue Jays, 5 different players with 20 or more homers last year. And Bichette, one of those. He had 24 of them. 2-2.
I think I like that pitch to him a little bit better. The harder slider down and away. And just showing him that away, I think you can come back in with that fastball if you want to. Especially up and in, tie him up.
Into right field. That's headed for the corner. Walker over quickly. Springer around second on his way to third. Jordan misplays it in the corner, and that's going to score Springer. And Bichette will hold at second, and the Jays lead 4-1. So Bichette's 2 for 2.
Hi, baby.
Well, this starts out with a really good piece of hitting right here by Bichette. They decide to go away. Pretty good pitch, but he lets it travel, drives it the other way. And you wonder here if this is Jordan Walker kind of learning his new field out here in right. This stays down, hits off the concrete, and kicks back harder than he was expecting.
So a double all the way for Bichette. He was 2 for 2. Now Guerrero, the hitter. 4-1. The Blue Jays, best hitting team in baseball last year, have picked up where they left off today in St. Louis. Already 7 hits. Guerrero flied out his first time up. He's 0 for 1, and now he wears 1. Guerrero happy to have worn the protective padding on the front elbow as Michaelis hits him. 2 on, 1 out.
Yeah, Miles Michaelis, the 2-seam, ends up just slipping out of the hand. He's trying to get in there, trying to make sure he misses in, but misses way too far in. Fortunately, it looks like Vlad is all right over there at first base. Even if you're wearing the pad, still does not feel good.
Varsho, an RBI double in his debut with the Blue Jays. again with a left-hander up. Look how the Cardinals defense lines up. Not only do you have to have two defenders on either side of the bag, all defenders have to have both feet on the dirt. That's the new shift rule for 2023.
Well, Varsho is one of those guys that you would overshift. I mean, if for the most part, he did not hit much to the left side of the field, so they're trying their best to shift him as well as 2023 allows here.
There's a beauty. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We didn't see much in spring training, Brad. Teams experimenting with 2 outfielders and having one of them be a rover.
Yeah, not a ton. Not a ton. I do wonder if some teams are playing things a little bit closer to the vest, going to pull them out in big spots.
Big breaking ball. Took a little off that, and Varsho over the top. Michaelis has his second strikeout.
Thought that Miles Michaelis set this strikeout up very well. It was the pitch before. It was an 87-mile-an-hour slider in on the hands. This time it's the bigger bender that just gets him out in front. Nice job there.
Alejandro Kirk, an RBI single his first time up. Jay's got 3 in the first, 1 here in the second. They've got 2 more aboard and a strike. Starting to get some feel now.
He is, and if he continues to get that call from home plate umpire Dan Iasonia, he can stay out there.
But already 54 pitches and not through the second inning. And that one wasted high. A ball and 2 strikes.
I think that one right there is Miles Michaelis trying to change the eye level right there for Kirk. Get him looking up, maybe drop that breaking ball down and away.
Fly ball right. Walker is there and shy of the track, calls it in, and that retires the side. Walker will make his debut at the plate. He's due second in the Cardinals' second. T-Mobile customers get free MLB.tv. Redeem now through April 3rd at T-Mobile.com/MLB. Jim Hayes, Brad Thompson, Chip Carey, 4-1 Toronto the lead. Cardinals coming up in the second with the 7, 8, 9 men. Starting first, Brad, with Nolan Gorman, who's reworked his swing.
Yeah, what a nice spring it was for Gorman. Pitchers were abusing him at the top of the zone. He revamped his swing, working from top to bottom, and it has paid dividends.
Manoah labored through the first inning, but did what he did so well last year. With men in scoring position, he really bore down, line out, and strikeout, ended the Cardinals' threat. They did pick up a run. It's 4-1 Toronto. What is it about this guy's stuff that gives hitters so much trouble? As I said, he doesn't throw 96 consistently, but as you said, he doesn't have to.
No, he doesn't. I think one is that there's some deception. There's that perceived velocity that jumps on a hitter a little bit more than the actual radar gun shows you. And it's his ability to also pitch inside. Like, he opens things up, he makes you uncomfortable, and then he mixes it up.
One ball, 2 strikes for Gorman. And a swing and a miss. That's 3 strikeouts for Alek Manoah.
18, right fielder Jordan Walker.
He'll never forget that moment. And he took a fastball right down the middle.
He's hoping he gets another one of those.
This kid hit his way on the team with a sensational spring. And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle. Welcome to St. Louis.
Might as well get that one out of the way for the young Jordan Walker. He's going to be asked for the rest of his life. Who did you get that first hit off of? Alex Manoah. What was the pitch? It was an 0-1 slider, and he hammered it 103.4 miles an hour right back up the box.
So Tommy Edman, the 9th place hitter, man at first. And I'm with you. Get the first one out of the way in your first big league at bat.
Well, you hit the nail on the head, too. First pitch fastball down the middle. It's like, ah, boy, that was the one I wanted. Forget it. This kid hits everything. That's the thing about it.
And he can run, too. He's got a good lead at first. That one stroked into center. And Walker will stop at second. Little daddy long legs action at the second base bag. But the Cardinals have a threat. Table set for the top of the order.
Well, back to the game plan of not hitting the ball hard. Don't have to. Change up off the plate, down and away. Tommy Edman reaches for it, serves it out, just out of the reach of Bichette over there at shortstop. And Cardinals got something going again. I mean, I know things for Miles Mikolas early in this one have not gone to plan. But this Cardinals offense, going back to one of the terms, one of the things that they want to be, they are relentless.
And we hit last. The way this game started. Brendan Donovan infield hit, scored the first run. 2 on for him with 1 out. And up and away, 1 ball, no strikes. Well, when the bottom feeds the top, man, any offense in a major league game is going to be deadly. And that's what's happened here in the second. Walker's first big league hit, Edman's first hit of the year. And now the leadoff man, Donovan. Pickoff play at second. Not a bad idea with the rookie. Who dwarfs Bo Bichette, doesn't he?
Sure does. Sure does. He dwarfs pretty much everybody that he stands by. Good point, though. Rookies think, okay, maybe I catch him looking around a little bit at Busch Stadium.
As we said, Brad, this is what makes Manoah so tough. You think you've got to rally, runners in scoring position. This is maybe when he's at his best.
No, he really is. He really is. This guy last year, the opposition hit 148 against him with runners in scoring position. That's the best in all of baseball.
Chapman's way off the line at third base here. Oh, would it be something if Donovan could poke a ball between him and the bag? He can hit the ball the other way.
Then it's off to the races for both those guys. He does that, shoots it down the line. Tommy Edman's got a very good chance of scoring from first base.
Donovan, deep count again, 2 balls and a strike.
Well, we're seeing a lot of arm side misses here from Alek Manoah. I don't know if it's the pitch count that got up early. You saw him 2 pitches go fix the mound, but obviously uncomfortable early on here.
Hitters count, 3 balls and a strike. Took a shot at left. And let's see what the Cardinals do here. Would you run with Walker and Edman with 1 out and Nootbaar on deck?
I think that pushing the envelope is never a terrible thing to do with this team, especially have the speed. You mentioned Jordan Walker. We've talked so much about his power. He swiped 22 bags last year at Double-A.
Well, let's find out together, shall we? 3 balls, 2 strikes. Good leads. Not going. Swing, drive, hammered toward right. Springer got a great jump and makes a diving catch.
Well, good thing they weren't going anywhere. Another hard hit ball here from the Cardinals. Finds a home in right field. Nice play by Springer.
The theme of this game, it was just hit too hard.
I can't do that. Can't do that anymore. In the age of exit velocity, you need less.
That one almost 110 off the bat, but it goes unrewarded. Now Nootbaar. He walked his first trip to the plate. Cardinals forcing the pitch count of Manoah up. His next will be number 45 in a 4-1 game. 2 balls, no strikes. Chopper hit towards second. Merrifield's got that. And the peg to first is in time. And that'll retire the side. Jordan Walker, welcome to the show. His first big league hit, a bullet up the middle. And we head to the third. Toronto leads after 2. Time to check in with the Cat, Jim Hayes. Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm with Scott Rowland. Scott Rowland, a Cardinal Hall of Famer going into the Baseball Hall of Fame in July. But you have the red jacket, not on now. So you've been back as part of opening day festivities. As a player, do you remember what it was like to be part of that when you didn't have the red jacket?
Oh, it's a celebration. I mean, it's a sea of red out there, Jim. It's a constant sea of red out there. No, but it's great. I mean, I'm not lost that everybody's here to see what's going on out there for sure. So as a Hall of Famer, we get an opportunity to come back and see everybody. You know, it's special time for all of us, and we appreciate this, the organization supporting us, bringing us back. It's special what they do, but the game's going on right out there, and those guys have earned it, deserve it, and it's a special time for them as well.
Fans like to hear from guys like you as well. You are going into the Baseball Hall of Fame. You took a little time, I think, out of respect before deciding you'd go in as a Cardinal. What was behind your decision?
Well, I wanted to understand the process first, and I talked to the Hall of Fame guys, and they kind of told me the situation. Go ahead, bud.
Go ahead.
They told me the situation, and it's a historic representation of your career. And I think when I heard that, regardless of numbers here or there, I think my career was represented best right here in St. Louis from team success. You know, playing in some World Series, getting a bunch of division and pennants that we won here, and our team success was special here for this. So it was fairly easy. I think I was honored, and to honor also, I think, this sea of red out here, Jim. But if I was going to represent my career, I think they gave me an opportunity to be in Cooperstown. I think it's right here.
I think it's a wise choice, and folks do love hearing from you. Last thing before we let you go, you got a speech coming up. Have you started writing it, and what's that process going to be like for Scott Rowland?
It's a sea of red out there, Jim. I haven't started writing it. I have other. I think that pressure's down the road a little bit, so I'm not gonna get on that yet. But I have ideas. I mean, I have time here that I'm not done collecting thoughts and collecting experiences. My son was here, and this was special again today. So to miss.
Can't wait to say that speech, I bet.
Yeah.
And
Jimmy. Super excited about running out of the dugout by himself today. Yeah. Can't wait to see the real stuff.
Yeah, don't trip. And I got the ball there in the air, but
Jimmy can help you with the speech.
It's not going to happen. So no, it'll be. I don't know what'll come out, but it'll be heartfelt, and it starts with my family and ends with my family, so it'll be great.
Well, congratulations on all your success. We appreciate you making time for us, and it's a sea of red out there.
See you red, Jim.
Chip, it's a sea of red out there.
It's, Cat, I've got some thoughts. Maybe you could help Scott write his Hall of Fame speech. After all, you are a multiple Emmy Award winner.
Scott, do you need me to help you write that? I think I have an idea. That'd be a hard no. That would be a hard pass.
Well, we tried, Jim. It's always great to see Hall of Famers, and Scott Rowland well-deserved on his trip to Cooperstown.
Well, honestly, I can't think of a better representative for the Cardinals than Scott Rowland. The way that he goes about it, the hard worker. I mean, he's what you want it to look like.
O'Neill in center plays that on a hop. Another soft hit. But they all count, and Toronto has 8 of them in 2 innings and a third today.
It's another one of those where you make a pitch, inner half, off the plate, sinker, and this one right off the bat was going to find some greenery. But so excited to see Scott Rowland headed to Cooperstown. I think it took a little bit too long. I think finally you got a good picture. The analytics actually really helped him. People diving into the numbers and what he meant defensively, offensively, just as the total package.
So 69 pitches for Miles Michaelis with 1 out here in the 3rd inning. He struck out Whit Merrifield looking his first time up. I would imagine, Brad, this is the time of day where pitchers love to go to work.
Yeah, it is for sure. That shadow is creeped out, so something down at the bottom of the zone. You're hoping that maybe you get a little 2-for-1 here.
Two quick strikes for Whit Merrifield. 0 for 2, now 0 for 3 lifetime in his career against the Cardinals right-hander.
Well, this is the part of the order that you want to go right after. There's so much danger near the top of it.
4-1 Toronto, the early lead. A lot of baseball left as that one skied out of play. Foul. And a fan from O'Fallon, Illinois came away with that souvenir on opening day. We'll try again with Chapman at first. He's 2 for 2. Pitch just missed the corner. O'Neill and Walker close in the Cardinal outfield. Tyler Shallow. Swing and a miss. Fooled him with a breaking ball. 4 strikeouts for Michaelis. And Kevin Kiermaier is coming up after a quick word from BJC Healthcare. Kevin Kiermaier, one of the best defenders in a major league outfield. So many years he starred in Tampa Bay with the Rays. He had hip labrum surgery and says that's good to go, and that's one reason why he hit .228 last year.
Yeah, for sure. That ends up taking a toll on you throughout a season. They wanted more balance. They needed some left-handers. They needed somebody that could range out in the outfield, and he does both of those things.
Miles got the call at the bottom of the zone there. It's an even count. Got to wonder about wear and tear on the turf. They have turf in Toronto as well at Rogers Center. As Michaelis goes back to work, off-speed pitch. It's 1-2.
We've seen Miles Michaelis pull out that changeup a little bit more in this ball game today. That one's elevated, but it was the change of speed that got Kiermaier.
Strike 3. Michaelis strikes out the side. Part of the order coming up for the Cardinals in the third. Goldschmidt, Arenado, and Wilson Contreras. Free night with a theme ticket. Fans take home an exclusive Cardinals t-shirt. For tickets and all the details, visit cardinals.com/theme. Alek Manoah goes to work in the home third with a 4-1 lead. Paul Goldschmidt leads off. He struck out in his first trip. And again, it's going to be tough to generate offense with the shadows where they are right now.
Yeah, it really is. The thing that you might have going for you against Manoah is he does like to utilize that fastball up. Something up in the zone, you got a better chance of keeping an eye on.
So that's what the hitters have to deal with. Right background, a 6'6" man on the mound, and they're bathed in shadow. And I think that is indicative of what Goldie and the Toronto hitters a moment ago are dealing with.
Yeah, it's a very good look at it right there. Give me the 3-10 start all the time, Chip. If I'm on the mound, I'm going to need all the help I can get.
But then you wouldn't be able to sit with me. What fun would that be? 1 ball, 2 strikes. Up and in. That's a dangerous pitch.
Well, life takes a path for a reason, doesn't it? Here we are.
Goldie, then Nolan, Arenado, then Wilson Contreras. And fouled away.
Well, you asked a minute ago, last inning he was, what makes him so effective? Alek Manoah, when he doesn't throw 97, 99 miles an hour, I think that in those 2 pitches right there, you just got a little bit of it. It's that fastball that he'll ride in, way in, and then he'll spot 95 away.
Goldie pops a breaking ball into right. Springer battling the sunshine and hauls it in for out number 1. This guy was such a treat during the All-Star game last year. Remember, he was mic'd up and was walking us through the at-bats and talking about how I'm going to get him with a four-seamer or the slider. That was such a great peek behind the curtain, if you will, during the Midsummer Classic.
Yeah, I wish that was something that we had the ability to do a little bit more. I think it's easy in a game that really doesn't matter to do something.
Sure.
If it blows up, you know, it is what it is.
First pitch swing by Nolan. That's skied towards center. Kiermaier battling the sun and squeezes that. And 2 quick outs. Again, we join Jim Hayes.
So Wilson Contreras is wearing brand new cleats. They're custom cleats, and they're designed to honor Yadier Molina. You can see Yadi's number on there. I asked Wilson about it in the clubhouse today, and he told me that Yadi has been so good for the Cardinals for so long, and he said he did so much for St. Louis. I felt in my heart that I had to do something to honor him. The two still have a strong friendship to this day. Wilson told me that Yadi has done so much for him personally to help make him a better catcher, but there they are. Very, very nice new shoes.
Those will look good on you, Jimmy. Outside for Contreras. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not only is Contreras filling the shoes, if you will, of Yadier Molina, he's got Albert Pujols' locker in the Cardinal clubhouse. 1 ball, 1 strike. Inside corner breaking ball. Right now the hitters just can't see spin.
Oh, you're right. It's very difficult. We're talking about the hitters. Well, you think about the umpire too. He's trying to track this same pitch the entire way. This one appears to have missed on the inner half. Home plate umpire Dan Iasonia, though, gives him the call.
That one is combed through and into center field. A 2-strike, 2-out hit for Contreras.
You know the theme. Don't hit it hard. It'll find a spot. This one, Contreras has to reach out for it. It's a slider. It's down and away. Well located after the one beforehand that backed up on him. And he gets his first hit as a member of the St. Louis Cardinals. The single up the middle.
So he's aboard for Tyler O'Neill, who struck out in the opening inning. As Brad mentioned, Tyler's homered in 3 straight openers for the Cardinals. That ball whopped right center field and deep. Track, wall, it's gone. 4 in a row for Tyler O'Neill. Love me some 2-out runs.
Key to the game was hunt the heater. That's what he did right there on that one. Jumped all over the fastball.
And Brad, we got a ball game. 4-3 now in the home third.
Relentless, right back in it. You know, with this offense, with the pop that they have top to bottom, you get somebody on, you got a chance to hit a long ball. Nice start to 2023 for him. Pretty good company for Tyler O'Neill. You mentioned it. It's 4 home runs, 4 opening days in a row now. Yogi Berra, Gary Carter, and Todd Hundley, the 3 other longest opening day home run streaks. All at 4 now with Tyler O'Neill.
That ball is lined by Nolan Gorman into right field, a base hit. So, Canada for Tyler O'Neill today.
Well, you know that one felt good from Tyler O'Neill. Coming off a strong World Baseball Classic. The big, strong man shows it off right here. Fastball goes the other way. Biggest part of the ballpark and drives it out of here. Fans are going crazy at Busch Stadium.
Another visit by Pete Walker, the pitching coach for Toronto. And now the stage is set for Jordan Walker. His first at bat, a base hit up the middle on a slider. He took a fastball right down Broadway. Let's see if he hunts the heater and drives in his first big league run. Broken bat and back to the mound. Manoah sawed him off, but a 2-run homer for Tyler O'Neill, the first of the year for the Cardinals. We've got a 1-run game heading to the 4th at Busch. Two heavyweight offenses going toe-to-toe through 3 innings, and we've got a 1-run game.
No lead is safe with either one of these teams throughout the season. Great to see Tyler O'Neill with that long shot. You know how much different this lineup looks when he's doing stuff like that.
So for Miles Mikolas, your team's gotten you to within a run. He needs a shutdown inning right now.
Yeah, well, we saw some good things from him last inning. He punched out the side. He was getting ahead a little bit more. And you're right. That's where you want to get right back in there, put the pressure right back on Alek Manoah and the Blue Jays.
George Springer's been a pest. He's 2 for 2. He's scored 2 runs. In fact, the top 4 hitters for the Blue Jays have reached base 6 times in 8 trips to the plate. That's got to change here in the 4th. And a little ground ball. Donovan gives ground, dives, Smothers can't come up with it. And another soft Toronto hit. And Springer's 3 for 3 on opening day.
I really can't recall seeing a game like this recently, at least, where everything seems to find a hole. Right side's wide open. You're pulling Springer, or playing Springer to pull the ball. That one just sneaks past Donovan.
So he's 3 for 3. Bo Bichette is 2 for 2 with an RBI. Mikolas, the ground ball guy, has not gotten a ground ball out yet. Time to change that. A little low, ball 1. Bo Bichette led the American League in hits, 189 of them last year. This kid is a superstar in the making.
Well, it's been 2 years straight for Bichette to lead the league in hits. I mean, incredibly impressive what he's doing.
Cardinals bullpen is busy again as Mikolas delivers a strike. Let's see how Contreras caught that ball. He almost had to duck his head down. I don't know if he's seeing it.
Yeah, ball sneaking in on a little bit of everybody. We're kind of past the part of getting crossed up now with pitch calm. That is just sheerly not being able to track the ball all the way from the hand.
That shaves off a corner. Good pitch.
Well, give me that corner all day. We've seen it. Home plate umpire Dan Iasonia has been giving that corner, whether it be with the fastball or the slider. You can't just live out there. You've got to show that you can pitch inside, but I'd go back out there again.
Fouled straight back. Mikolas, as you know, was an Iron Man last year, a 200+ inning guy, averaged 96 pitches a game. Perfect world, he somehow gets out of this quickly and gets you into the 5th. But he's at 87 pitches now. And Bichette, a good job to stay alive on that nasty break.
Yeah, to me, that's been one of the biggest things in this game is that these Blue Jays hitters are just not giving in. They're fouling off the tough pitches, the ones that Miles Mikolas does execute, like that breaking ball down and away gets fouled off, and it gives Bichette another chance.
Another 2-2. Swing and a miss. Bichette's down on strikes. That's 6 for Mikolas. That ball boring in on the hands of the right-hander.
I love it. Your Chevy pitch tracks here. It's the sinker just riding in right there. So you went down and away with the breaking ball. You made a good pitch. He fouled it off, and then you tie him up inside. Again, that's pitching. It's back, forth, in and out.
Mikolas tried to go inside on Guerrero last time and hit him. So he's 0 for 1. And a ground ball hard hit through the right side. Springer around second. Walker loads up. Here comes his throw. Misses the cutoff man. Arenado fires to second and safe. Guerrero never stopped running. And they're at second and third with 1 out.
Well, look close over there at second base. Great hustle by Guerrero.
And new challenge rules. Should Ale decide to do it, you have to notify the umpires almost immediately. And the Cardinals will not challenge the call at second. And they're at second and third, one out.
Well, incredibly heads-up play right there by Nolan Arenado as Ale. That's going to be it for Michaelis to come up and get a chance there. Looks to be Zach Thompson coming onto this one.
So Toronto 4 runs, 10 hits, and they threaten again in the fourth as the Cardinals go to the pen. Sports Midwest Extra coverage starts at 7. Blues Blackhawks tonight. Bally Sports Midwest Extra. It's a 4-3 game in St. Louis. Toronto has second and third, one out, and the man that had a spectacular spring is the first man out of the bullpen.
Hey, your Chevy call to the bullpen. Zach Thompson out there didn't give up a run in 11 games this spring. He was flat out dominant. The numbers can tell you that, but the fastball has ticked up. His breaking ball is lights out. He's throwing it for chase, and he's throwing it for strikes.
And with the hitting conditions as they are, that's a huge weapon in this spot.
It is. That big bender of his 12-6 curveball got a good chance of freezing some hitters.
Arenado even with the bag on the grass at third. Varsho takes high. And Dalton ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Springer an infield hit. Guerrero singled, took second on the overthrow. I beg your pardon. And now a 2-0 count for Varsho. Went to a knee and tipped that off the glove of Contreras.
Took some off of that fastball, but really tried to make sure he got down in the zone. It was a good adjustment there by Thompson. Sometimes you just got to slow your body down a tiny bit, allow your arm to get in a good position. That's what he did there.
Golfed into left field. Nootbaar retreats. That'll bring home Springer on a sacrifice fly. And Varsho's having a great debut for the Blue Jays. 2 RBIs. And Toronto has a 2-run lead again. Time for our BJC Healthcare injury report. Paul DeYoung not in St. Louis, still with a bad back.
Yeah, he's down in Jupiter, Florida, still working through the back issues, trying to get himself back on the right track, and hopefully gets things moving here and can be a part of things early in 2023 for Paul DeYoung. I know a frustrating spring for him.
Alejandro Kirk 2 RBIs today. There's that big bender from Zach. It missed. Ball 1. It's righties better than lefties. And yes, the 3-batter minimum is still in place for major league relievers. Unless they end an inning. Even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. I don't like throwing out casual comparisons, but this guy's curveball is Max Fried-like.
Well, he's one of the better starters in the game. I like hearing that comp.
And he's quickly ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, it's just the confidence that he has in it, too, to throw it in any count. Again, we mentioned that fastball, how well it plays, especially it plays so well up in the zone with that big breaking ball.
In the dirt, Kirk didn't get it, and a great job of minimizing damage for Zach Thompson. A sac fly adds to Toronto's lead. Voting's now open for the 2023 Cardinals Hall of Fame presented by Edward Jones. This year's nominees are Joaquin Andujar, Steve Carlton, David Freese, Matt Morris, and Edgar Renteria. Cast your vote at cardinals.com/HOF. Voting closes April 21st. Packed house at Busch Stadium. The offenses have not disappointed. 5-3 after 3.5 innings on opening day. And Alek Manoah will face 9-1-2 on the Cardinals lineup card. Tommy Edman, Brendan Donovan, and Lars Nootbaar. And more pitch com problems for a big league catcher. Alejandro Kirk needs some adjustments.
That's why you carry IT guys now on your staff.
They are loving the action at One Cardinal Way right across the street. Fredbird's got a great seat.
Never working.
Now John Schneider's out to talk with Dan Iasonia. Was there a pitch clock violation? I guess so. So it is a ball one count on Tommy Edman. That is an umpire's discretion if there's pitch count problems. So Edman ahead in the count without a pitch being thrown. Now ball two. Major League Baseball has been very strict and very consistent in the application of the new pitch clock rules. Love it, hate it, it's here to stay. Shaved 26 minutes, Brad, off the average spring training game.
Yeah, and I know that most fans that are watching this right now, they say, I don't care, I'm invested in the entire thing. The difference was it was an action-packed game throughout. That's exactly what they're looking for in Major League Baseball. So, and it is something, too. You see it crop up here. It's the first violation of the game. This is opening day. We saw these hitters and these pitchers pick these things up pretty quickly.
3-1 count for Tommy Edman. And a strike. Well, if you want action, they've got what they want in this game. 8 runs, 17 hits. And we're not out of the 4th inning. As a full count coming for Edman, who singled his first time up.
We've certainly seen it in this ball game. Some of those shift restrictions coming into play. Ground balls that have found themselves some holes, and not a ton of hard hit baseballs really in this game with these couple of juggernaut offenses. Just a lot of balls that have just found some grass.
What's the name of the game? Put it in play.
That's it.
Both clubs have done that. As another 3-2 on the way from Alek Manoah, the Toronto starter. And that's squib to the left side. Chapman will glove it. He'll have no play, and the Cardinals bring the tying run to the plate. Break out the Roberta Flack, killing me softly. Brad, that's the story of this game for both starters.
Yeah, right on time. It's a slider. He beats it into the ground, and Tommy Edman is off to the races. Chapman, one of the best third basemen in the game, but even he is not getting to that one.
Well, keep an eye on Edman. Stole 32 bags last year. Let's see what the Cardinals do here with Brendan Donovan, who takes a strike. Cardinals did a fair share of running in the spring, and when they did, they were very successful.
Yeah, they were, and we saw spring training attempts go up. Stolen base attempts go up in spring training. We saw the success rate go up in spring training as well, and it's what fans want to see as they were polled. They want to see more stolen bases. It's an exciting play. So the bases are bigger now. We haven't talked about a lot of these rules here for many of our fans that didn't watch spring training games. Bases now are 18 by 18 instead of 15 by 15. So that lowers it. I did the math on this, Chip, by 4.5 inches, 4.5 inches. So, you know, bang bang plays happens all the time. Will teams take more chances?
2-strike count for Donovan, who took his timeout. And now the pitch. He is fouled away. Here, last year's Major League stolen base leaders. John Birdie of the Marlins led everybody. I'm guessing you'd take the over this year, wouldn't you?
I would. I would for sure. For all the reasons that we threw out there. Guys going to be getting on base more with some of these shift restrictions. There are going to be more opportunities.
Swing, high fly ball toward right. Springer going back to the track, to the wall. That ball is gone. We are tied. Five in the 4th. And Lars Nootbaar, the batter.
Relentless top to bottom, guys that can do some damage. Donovan showed off some of that power in spring training, showing it off on opening day.
So the Blue Jays, who had a 3-0 lead entering the bottom of the first, have surrendered it. It's 5-5 and nobody out in the fourth. And Toronto's bullpen starts to work.
I expect the Cardinals starting staff top to bottom to be very good, and that's even with Adam Wainwright starting on the shelf. Jake Woodford had such a good spring training. He earned the opportunity to be in there, but it is a nice safety net to know you have an offense like this that can get you back into things.
Rolled to the right side. Guerrero's got that in the shadows. And here's a look at Brendan Donovan's first home run of the year.
Chip, we talked about some of the adjustments that Brendan Donovan made this offseason. He's standing a bit more upright. He changed his bat, and the bat is heavier now, and it's counterbalanced. He doesn't have to swing any harder, but the ball's coming off his bat with a better exit velocity. He drops the head on that one, gets it out of the ballpark, and this guy, he is going to be a dude this year.
Third time around for Paul Goldschmidt against Alek Manoah. He's 0 for 2.
A third time facing a starter has been a very good thing for Goldie. .438 average, 13 for 28, 6 home runs, drove in 18. Third time facing a starter a year ago.
Slider off the plate. 2 balls, no strikes. Busch Stadium is buzzing. The Cardinals have come back to tie it. And I would think now, Brad, with the shadows past the pitcher's mound, things a little easier for the hitters.
It appears so.
Yeah. Boy, that's some great analysis as Goldie digs in with a 2-1 count. That 2 balls, 2 strikes.
No, it really does change when you're not seeing. You're still seeing a little bit of the bright spot there in between coming through the concourse, but when you're not changing the levels too many times of light to dark, it really does help out pick up the baseball.
Pop back our way and foul. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. When you look at Goldie's numbers last year, they're obviously eye-popping. That's how you win the MVP. But what made those numbers so special for you last year?
Well, for me, there was no one way to get him out. There was no glaring hole. You would try to go away. He'd drive it away. He'd hit the ball wherever you pitched it. And if you made a mistake, he'd make you pay. I mean, that's just kind of the guy that he is. He's got power to all fields. He'll take his walks. He rarely expands. A lot of times you get a guy that has power like he does that tries to show it off all the time. He doesn't do that. He's happy taking what you're going to give him.
Merrifield at the very limits of his defensive positioning at second for Goldie, who takes off the plate. Manoah thought that was strike 3. Didn't get the call. Ooh, that was close.
Well, that's a pitch right there that home plate umpire Dan Iasonia has given throughout this game. Now, he gave it a little bit earlier when the shadows, to your point, Chip, were a little bit different, harder to pick up the ball. Doesn't get the call there.
So the pitch of decision for Goldschmidt with 1 out. Now he's starting to zone in and reel in Manoah and force his pitch count up. The next one will be 85.
For Manoah, those ones are maddening, especially against an MVP like Goldie. You think you make your pitch, you don't get the call, then you got to come back after him. This is where you end up making a mistake.
9th pitch of the at-bat. And Goldschmidt takes ball 4. So the inning continues. Nolan Arenado is your hitter, but first a quick word from BOS.
When you need to expand your business, turn to BOS. We can make loan decisions locally so you can unleash your full potential. BOS, bank boldly.
So 85 pitches for Manoah. He's not going to get through the 4th inning. A 2-run homer for Brendan Donovan has tied the game. Zach Pop is due to pitch for the Blue Jays. 5-5 in the home 4th in St. Louis. Maintenance app coming soon. Everything blooming for the Cardinals in the 4th inning. They've tied the game at 5. They've chased Alek Manoah, and now Zach Pop is on to pitch.
Well, we thought we had the game plan here. Your Chevy call to the bullpen is Zach Pop. Those are the numbers in 36 games last year. You thought it was going to be Michaelis Manoah getting deep into the ball game. Now you got a battle of the pens and a battle of two talented and powerful offenses.
So Pop on the mound versus a man with Pop at the plate. Arenado, 30 homers last year, an RBI single already today. And don't forget, Pop Warner is at third base, coaching box for the Cardinals.
That is a lot of Pop on one screen.
One ball, no strikes. To third. Chapman's got it. Second base, low throw one. On to first, a double play. And that will retire the side. The Cardinals, though, get a 2-run homer from Brendan Donovan, his first of the year. We got a new ball game. 5-5 heading to the fifth. Grand offers a great room for a great price and includes 2 Cardinals tickets, food and beverage credit, and more. Visit MarriottSt.LouisGrand.com, always a proud partner of the St. Louis Cardinals. So, Brad, you're right. Battle of the bullpens. 5-5 after 4.
Well, this is where the Cardinals going to be able to show off some of that depth. Zach Thompson is going to be a big part of this pen here moving forward. That breaking ball is going to be a big weapon for him against both the lefties and the righties.
Brandon Belt, the hitter, a ball and a strike to him. Belt's had a quiet day to this point. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He's the designated hitter for the Blue Jays. Just a bit high.
Well, already a very talented Blue Jays team, but I think it's important to bring guys like Belt in. First of all, the handedness, they needed that. Somebody that's swinging from that side, but also the guy's been a winner. Multiple World Series champion.
Second strikeout for Thompson. Good start to the 5th inning. 1 up, 1 down as we take a look at our Kia player profile. Jordan Walker, 20 years old, debuting today. Look at that list. An historic day for Jordan Walker, right, Jim Hayes?
Yeah, he's got 30 or so family members on hand. I talked to his dad, Derek, before the game. I asked him if he's aware how excited fans are about Jordan. He told me, I kind of got the idea back at the winter warm-up when fans wanted to take my picture. Chip, there is an absolute Jordan Walker frenzy in St. Louis.
And he's got some St. Louis ties, I understand. His mom earned a master's degree at WashU. That's a little high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Walker already with a base hit in his first at bat today, as the Cardinals have rallied from a 3-0 deficit to tie it at 5. Matt Chapman behind in the count. Golfs that foul at third.
Yeah, Jordan Walker is already beloved. In the ceremony before the game, he was announced. The crowd went wild. I almost felt a little sorry for Tommy Edman, who was behind him, who was kind of drowned in the sea of cheers for Jordan Walker. But what a moment, one that he will never, ever forget. Got his first big league hit already, and something tremendous to build off of for this young man. He's special. You've had the opportunity to spend some time with him throughout spring training. Just a great person, great player. Going to be a nice ambassador for this ball club.
And he doesn't have to be a savior, if you will, on this team. He can just go be a kid. They've got the stars on this team, right?
Yeah, I think that's indicative of where he's hitting in the order. Batting 8th, go out there, do your thing.
Swing and a miss. Chapman's down on strikes. 3 straight strikeouts for Zach Thompson.
It's been nothing but hammer time for Zach Thompson. Another breaking ball strikeout for him. Just such good depth on it. The arm speed is what sells it for Thompson. He just throws it hard, throws it just like his heater, and it drops off the table.
Whit Merrifield struck out twice today. And that's back our way. Foul, strike 1.
Looks like Zach's loosened up a little bit too. Seeing the velocity jump up for him. 97 on that one upstairs.
That and that big curveball. That's a nice combination.
Yeah, that'll play.
conditions like this. On the ground, there's a ground ball chance, and a laser to first will retire the Blue Jays in order. Wilson Contreras will try to give the Cardinals the lead in the home fifth. Let's see if the Cardinals can take their first lead. Wilson Contreras is 1 for 2. He singled and scored his last time up. Zach Thompson, good work in relief, an inning and 2/3 perfect. And a big cheer for Wilson facing Canadian native Zach Pop out of Brompton, Ontario. Toronto and the Blue Jays are Canada's team, and Pop, a hometown kid. 1 ball, no strikes for Contreras. 1 for 2 is he.
I think it was pretty evident early on in spring training that Contreras is going to be a good fit with this ball club. Forgoed the opportunity to go play in the World Baseball Classic. Wanted to learn more about his guys.
Ooh, that ball disappeared.
Don't make a mistake with that one. If that backs up, you're in trouble. It's all sinker slider from Pop. But I think that he really took advantage of the time with his pitchers to get to know them, what makes them tick, and that's going to pay some dividends throughout the season.
Good take there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Contreras took a shot at right field his first time up and lined out. And takes 1 low. We're told the last catcher to make his debut for the Cardinals on opening day and get a hit, Pat Borders, in 1996. So if you got 1, let's see if you can get 2. The pitch. Strike 3. Shaved off a corner, and Pop has his first strikeout. Well, Tyler O'Neill, big blow in this game. He's our BJC healthcare difference maker.
O'Neill got himself a fastball early and just jumped on it. That's the swing that you want to see from him, and that's when Tyler O'Neill, Chip, is at his best. When he's letting it travel, he's going the other way. I mean, look at this dude. He's got power all over the field. He doesn't have to pull the ball.
Just put a nice, easy swing on it, and it will explode. And he took a strike there. A homer on 4 straight opening days today for Tyler O'Neill.
The thing about Tyler, too, is his hands are so incredibly fast. If he's thinking up the middle the other way, he still can react to that fastball in.
They're pitching him away. And it missed away. 2 balls and a strike. Ollie was very, very clear. He thinks O'Neill is primed to have a gigantic year for the Cardinals.
Think about how dangerous this team can be if that comes to fruition.
You think about a 30-homer man playing center.
You look at him, too, and you wouldn't, if you're a Cardinal fan, you already know, you wouldn't think that this guy has the speed that he has also. It's not just the home runs. He can hit a little chopper and leg it out. He can steal a bunch of bases for you. Can obviously range anywhere in center field.
On the ground to Bichette. Got the hop he wanted. And a bad throw, but O'Neill tagged by Guerrero. That's the only knock on Bichette. Sometimes that throwing ability leads to defensive problems. Here's Arenado, but first a quick word from Tax Act.
When you file with Tax Act, life help is easy.
Wrong, Nolan. It's Nolan Gorman coming up for the Cardinals, but first John Schneider to the mound. Zach Pop, good work. He faced 3 hitters, got 4 outs, and Nolan Gorman will face a new Toronto pitcher in a tie game in inning number 5. Sports Midwest participants get to walk a victory lap on the field at Busch Stadium. Sign up at Cardinals.com/5K. 5-5 game. Cardinals batting in the 5th. A look at Eric Swanson, one of their big acquisitions, Brad, this offseason.
Yeah, your Chevy called to the bullpen, and he was one of those pieces. He was with Seattle, part of the Teoscar Hernandez trade, as they try to add a few more pieces of that back end of the pen. They like what they've got here in Swanson.
Reverse splits guy. Lefties did not do much against him. Good live arm and a split or two, I hear.
Well, a really good challenge here for Gorman. He just showed you the ability to throw that fastball at the top of the zone. When he's got that split to go off it, that's a dangerous combination for Gorman. This is where you really want to see that swing that we saw in spring training. That one that starts at the top, it's level, and he hits the line drives. He's got light tower power, but he can do it on the line. The ball still jumps out of the ballpark.
That might have been the split. Missed with it. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, very good action.
They shade Gorman at shortstop. Nolan takes one belt high right down Clark Street. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's the one you want right back. If you're Nolan Gorman, saw it up out of the hands, just didn't recognize the spin on that split.
And a swing and a miss. Cardinals are retired in order, and we are through 5 on opening day. 5-5 game. Brad, an off day tomorrow for the Cardinals, but Saturday's matchup is our Budweiser What's on Tap.
Yeah, can't wait to see Jack Flaherty go at it against Kevin Gausman. Could be a hard-hitting pitching matchup, kind of like we thought about this one coming in, but a healthy Jack Flaherty is good news for the Birds.
Kevin Kiermaier singles on the first pitch of the Toronto 6th, and he's aboard for the first time with nobody out. So Kiermaier 1 for 3. That'll be the end of the line for Zach Thompson. He went an inning and 2/3, 1 hit, and the Cardinals go to the bullpen for the second time. Drew Verhagen's coming on next. Bobblehead thanks to Coca-Cola and Walmart. Tickets are available. Go to cardinals.com/promotions. There's your score, there's your situation, and there's your reliever. Drew Verhagen is on for the first time, Brad.
Well, you and I were in Ollie Marmol's office earlier, and we were talking about the back end of the bullpen, and he was the one who was quick to bring up your Chevy call to the bullpen here, Drew Verhagen. He brought him up and said, hey, I believe that this guy is going to factor in at the back end of a lot of games throughout the year. They like the way that he looks coming out of the pen in shorter stints. Again, big velocity, good feel for a couple of different breaking balls. And a really good spot here early on for Drew Verhagen to find himself a good role in this Cardinal pen.
Got to find a way to get this guy out. George Springer is 3 for 3 today. And an amazing stat for the Cardinals. We talked about it in between innings. They have 1 ground ball out defensively in this game.
Yeah, that's nuts. Especially with Miles Michaelis on the mound. You just don't see it.
Toronto with 11 hits. Not all of them have been lasers.
No, to your earlier point about the ground ball outs, we've seen a lot of ground balls. They have just found holes. Some of them have been soft hits. Some of them have just been at the perfect spot. Be a perfect spot for a ground ball here.
Cardinals have yet to turn a double play, and he tied up Springer with a good pitch, 1 and 2. 9 strikeouts for Verhagen this spring over 8 2/3 innings. An encouraging rebound for him after a disappointing year last year.
That really is. You see Contreras set up there, right there on the inner half. That's exactly where he gets it.
And Springer didn't get that. His perfect day comes to a close, and Verhagen gets his first man. 1 out.
Spotted the sinker in on the pitch prior. This time he elevates with the 4-seam, belt high, just rips it right by him.
Andre Palante is getting ready for the Cardinals as Bo Bichette hits. He's 2 for 3 with a ribby. And that's what that kid likes to do. He loves to ambush. Came up empty that time. Strike 1.
Well located. Just that sweeping pitch right there by Verhagen.
base hit for Bichette. He's got 3 on the day. Kiermaier stops at second, and here's Guerrero. 2 on again with 1 man out. Wow, top of the order for Toronto. 3 hits each from Springer and Bichette. And Guerrero has flied out. He's been hit by a pitch, and he's singled. He's 1 for 2 in his career against Verhagen. That hit a homer. Don't want that here. Strike 1.
Oh, and I like that idea. It's dangerous, right, to go into Vladimir Guerrero Jr. because you know if you miss over the plate, you know what he can do to you, but you have to be able to throw that pitch in there for a strike, and Verhagen does it and gets ahead.
If there's a blemish on the resume of a man that hit 32 homers last year, it's that Guerrero hit the 26 double plays. One here would send us to the home 6th.
Kind of just tells you how good too Guerrero is. Talking about the year that he had, a very solid year. He was mad about it. He was disappointed about his overall numbers. He was mad about the fact that he was chasing more pitches than he would the year prior. Wanted to be more selective this year, really focused on it in spring training. And you talk about a guy, I mean, 2 years ago didn't expand the zone much at all. Talk about bloodlines in the game of baseball. Pretty talented ones, but totally different hitters. Because his father would expand the strike zone and hit everything.
That looked like Dad's swing.
There it is. But Dad would have put it 10 rows deep probably. The scouting report with his dad, I only got a chance to face him once when he was playing for the Angels. Throw it down the middle and see what happens. Because everything else you try, he's going to barrel up.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The other thing this guy does is he hits the ball so hard. 211 balls in play last year, over 100 miles an hour. I'm told that opposing defenders in the American League last year would see the ball off his bat and just get out of the way. They wouldn't even try.
Yeah, I'd be filing some sort of an amendment for that rule of the infielders having to start on the dirt with this guy's up. Like, hey, is there some sort of a safety amendment here we could do with Vlad up? No, thank you. I don't want to be that close. Need an exemption.
Well, he's forced a deep count. This will be the 8th pitch. Tries to buzz him inside. Now a full count.
I like the idea there a lot from Verhagen to go in. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if he did it again.
Chopper hit left side. Arenado's got it. Flipped to second. Turned to first a little late. The amazing range of Nolan Arenado gets the second out there at the corners. And we'll take a quick word from Rally House.
Play ball, St. Louis. Shop the latest in Cardinals style with your favorite brands and throwback designs. Rally House has gear for every fan.
So Verhagen faces the 3 batters required in this inning. And Ali Marmol will go to his bullpen. Righty-lefty matchup, but there's common sense thinking behind that. Brad will explain when we come back in the 6th inning of a tie game at 5. Saturday afternoon at 12:30. The game will be seen on Bally Sports Midwest Extra. Cardinals baseball Saturday 12:30 on Bally Sports Midwest Extra. So Brad, righty-lefty sequence here in a tie game. What's the thought process for Ali here?
Generally, it seems interesting to bring in a right-hander here, but Andre Palante had his way with lefties last year for average, for slugging. His fastball really just gets on these left-handers.
And he gets a first pitch swing. Little roller to second, flip to first in time. The strategy works, and we go to the home 6th. 5-5 game. Saturday, May 6th, Busch Stadium hosts the 18th annual Purina Pooches in the Ballpark Day. Come enjoy a game with man's best friend beside you. A limited number of tickets are on sale now at cardinals.com/pooches. 5-5 game before a crowd of 47,609 on opening day. Second largest crowd at Busch Stadium in the ballpark's brief history. Amazing. That, of course, on opening day. And there's a strike. Jordan Walker.
Yeah, all of them excited to see this young man right here. Got his first major league hit today. A single up the middle on a slider.
Split finger. Don't throw those often in Springfield, do they?
Yeah, didn't get a chance to see too many of those great ones in his limited time in the minor leagues so far. Got a feeling he's a quick learner, though, and he'll pick it up fast.
And Jordan took his time out, so as he digs in, the clock will start anew. Broke his bat last time up and tapped back to the mound, so he's 1 for 2 today. Oh, what a rip. At 96 timed up, straight back foul.
Yeah, pretty tough combination there, too, to face for Jordan Walker. It's that split finger under the zone. Starts out looking like a strike, then rides 96 up above it. Good job staying alive.
Keep an eye on Bo Bichette. Heels on the dirt.
It's a big change for a lot of these infielders. A lot of the infielders that like to start in the grass and then start working their way in. You have to change your routine now.
This is what Walker did all spring.
Like works counts, and you love seeing the position of his body when he's taking these split fingers. He swung and missed through one, but he's balanced. He's recognizing it out of the hand.
3-2. Strike 3, shaves off the outside corner. Pitcher's pitch. Swanson got it. And there's out number 1.
Now your Plaza Tire Service pitch track. We talked about the splitter, the four seam up. This time Swanson painted the slider right on the outer corner and just got Jordan Walker looking.
Good day for Tommy Edman hitting 9th. He's 2 for 2 with a run scored. Brendan Donovan on deck. He's got a couple of hits. That one slicing toward the seats, foul and out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. How do you like Tommy hitting 9th?
Well, I love it. I mean, he's a guy, we know that he has leadoff capabilities. I like his speed at the end. I like the fact that he's got gap-to-gap power also. It just shows you the length of this lineup when you can have a guy like Tommy batting 9th. I think there will be times where we'll see him at or near the top of the lineup also. There's versatility. There are some pieces that you don't feel like moving around too much. Those would be Goldie, Arenado, Contreras, but everybody else can move.
Another strike evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Both starters went 3 1/3 innings. Both gave up 5 runs. Michaelis for the Cardinals, Manoah for Toronto. On the ground toward Chapman at 3rd. He'll gobble that up. And 2 are out. Top of the order, Brendan Donovan, the hitter. He's 2 for 3. And his last at bat, the game-tying blow. Let's check it out. StatCast powered by Google Cloud.
Just showing off some of that newfound power. Remember, a year ago, only 5 home runs on the season. He wasn't up for the entire year, but had a very good clip. In spring, already hit 4. 1 game in, already has 1 for Brendan Donovan.
Swanson is taken down, faced 3 hitters, struck out 2 of them, and our bullpen battle continues in the 6th, still tied at 5. To you by BJC Healthcare, the world's best medicine made better. By your quality Ford dealers, proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals. And by Budweiser, this Bud's for you. And those look good. So does that scoreboard, 5-5. Cardinals were down 3-0 after a half inning. Brendan Donovan's homer tied it up. And now he'll face left-hander Tim Meza, who had a great year last year out of the Toronto bullpen.
Yeah, he was solid. Chevy called to the bullpen, 63 games, ERA just north of 3, and the lone lefty in the bullpen right now for the Blue Jays. So John Schneider looks on and watches this battle of the pens.
And a quick strike. Meza pitched against the Cardinals last year, faced one batter and got a win to go to 5-0. In relief, that's a good day.
That's good work if you can get it. Sneak in, sneak out.
Shot the other way. Our 3-hit opener for Brendan Donovan. Lefty versus lefty, by the way. Here's Nootbaar.
Well, we've seen him drive a breaking ball out of the ballpark. This time it's a 94-mile-an-hour sinker. It is well placed. That's exactly where he's trying to throw this ball. He lets it travel. Great balance swing. A nice look at it there and just drives it the other way.
So Meza, tough for lefties to hit immediately in the stretch. And now he'll face Lars Nootbaar, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. He shoots one the other way. And now the 3-batter rule comes into play because Meza now has to face Goldie with 2 on and 2 out. And you love your chances in spots like this.
Well, if you're John Schneider, the thought was, okay, we'll never get to this point. He'll get one of the 2 lefties. 4-11, 11 home runs at 1327 OPS a year ago against left-handed pitching. This is uncomfortable if you're the Toronto Blue Jays.
Ball is struck out, popped out, and walked today. So Schneider had the right idea, but didn't count on Donovan and Nootbaar to single lefty versus lefty.
Yeah, that was a nice job by Nootbaar too, going down there and getting that one. And the Cards have in fact struck gold with Paul Goldschmidt. I mean, he has just been, ever since coming over from the Diamondbacks, he was just the perfect fit.
Cardinals 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position today. A single could give you the lead. One ball, one strike. They shade him to right in the outfield. Tons of room down the left field line if Paul can pull a pitch. Golfed into right center field. That ball is down. Here comes Donovan around third. Springer loads up. His throw to third. Late. And the Cardinals take the lead.
This is a 94-mile-an-hour sinker. It's down and away off the plate, but Paul Goldschmidt just goes down, golfs it out there. Your Plaza Tire Service pitch track. Just a fantastic job yet again. Lars Nootbaar on the slide, trying to slide around it. Does the hand come off? Doesn't look like it.
So John Schneider brought in Meza with 2 outs. Nobody on. 3 straight opposite field hits have put the Cardinals in front for the first time, and the MVP does the trick. Anthony Bass, but he's now pitching with the Blue Jays behind a run.
Yeah, what a year it was, in a position that he doesn't generally find himself in. He's usually protecting leads, but he's trying to keep this one right here with 2 outs as things did not go as planned for Blue Jays manager John Schneider. And just some good hitting by the Cardinals. Mentioned it, 3 opposite field hits. Guys getting it done. This is not an easy test for Bass here.
3 of the Cardinals' runs today have come with 2 outs. Arenado will try to extend the lead. He's 1 for 3 with a ribby. And takes a strike. This relentless Cardinals offense is showing you why on opening day. They were down 3-0 before they took a turn at the plate. They were down 4-1 after 2. They lead 6-5 in the 6th.
They plan on continuing to pour on. That's where Nolan comes in.
Top of the zone, called a strike. One ball, 2 strikes. Runner goes at first. Ball in the dirt. Nothing Kirk could do about that. Goldschmidt moves up 90 feet. Now a hit gets 2.
That's the thing, too, with Bass. He's got that very good slider. Might want to break it out here again, but that wild pitch could cost you a run.
Hard hit ball toward third. Chapman's got it. He'll throw on the run, and that will retire the side. 3 straight hits. Puts the Cardinals in front going to the 7th. Opening day 2023 between the Cardinals and Blue Jays, both of whom are facing an interleague opponent for the first time on opening day. Brad and Chip, what a way to start.
Well, this did not start out like we thought. We thought this was going to be a pitcher's duel. It was Michaelis, it was Manoah, but these are 2 powerful offenses that are going at it. It's been a big day so far for Donovan. 3 hits, had the 2-run bomb. Tyler O'Neill got himself a 2-run home run, and the Cardinals looking to keep this 1-run lead. Palante came in, got the job done last half inning. The bullpen has looked solid for the Birds thus far.
Zach Thompson struck out 3 in an inning and 2/3. Verhagen got 2 outs with a strikeout. Now Palante is ahead of Alejandro Kirk, the Toronto catcher.
Well, that's what they want to see from Palante against the right-handers, is his ability to throw that slider for strikes and then being able to use it for chase.
Good job by Kirk to fight that off.
For sure, and that time it was the curveball. He's got a couple of different breaking balls that he can mix in there. And one of the things that they were really encouraged about Palante, who had an awesome rookie year last year, was the increase in his velocity in spring training. We were seeing him 98, 99 miles an hour.
Yeah, we failed to mention this is a new-looking Cardinals coaching staff, including Dusty Blake, the pitching coach, who's really helped several guys reshape their pitches to benefit.
Yeah, I think that's going to be part of it, how to best utilize these arsenals, how to use some of the data that they have and implement it.
Up the middle, Edmonds got it, 360 spin, and he got him. What a play.
Well, there have not been too many ground ball outs in this ball game, but the defense always ready. With the shift limitations, you have to have rangy, athletic infielders, and that's exactly what you have with Tommy Edman up the middle. Makes the good, strong throw. It was a nice pitch, too, by Andre Palante. The good breaking ball where he wanted it.
By my count, Brad, 4 ground ball outs recorded by the Cardinals staff in this game.
Yeah, I'm not good at counting. I trust you. But it's not as many as I expected coming into this one. I thought it would be defense busy all the time. Just hasn't been the case on the ground today.
Good to see Tommy unleash a strong throw. There were some looping throws from shortstop this spring training.
I think that he was still working on building up that arm strength throughout. It was an earlier start getting ready for the World Baseball Classic, but he's had a couple where he's really fired across the diamond.
Belt didn't mean to, and that's out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Again, the 10th largest crowd in this facility's history. And the 2nd largest opening day crowd at Busch Stadium 3, 47,649.
You look at the nucleus of this club, there's going to be a lot to cheer about this year. You look at the young talent, the veterans on the corners already. You've just got a really good team that Ollie Marmol, his staff, has to lead. The pitching staff looks good. Bullpen looks good. We all know it's about 162. What does it look like for the ride? But
that's fair inside the bag at first. Walker will have to dig it out at the line. Belt on his way to second. The strong throw is late, and Palante backs it up nicely. Brandon Belt has his first hit with the Blue Jays. It's a 1-out double.
Now Belt gets his hands to this one, speeds up a little bit. That was something last year. He had some issues to getting some of these pitches on the inner half. This one, 97 miles an hour. It's down and in. If it's elevated, I don't think he's able to get to it, but a good job by Belt there to get it down the line.
So Belt will be taken down for a pinch runner here. Toronto has the tying run in scoring position. Nathan Lukes will pinch run. And Matt Chapman is the hitter. He's got 2 hits in 3 tries. It's Lucas at second base. That's how you pronounce his last name. It's his big league debut. In a 6-5 St. Louis game in the 7th. Ripped into right field, a base hit. Walker to his right, won't have a play at the plate. Lucas will come home and score, and Matt Chapman with a 3-hit day has tied this game at 6.
Well, it's a fastball from Palante. It catches too much of the plate. Plaza Tire Service pitch track, wants it in on the corner, leaks out over, and a nice swing by Chapman to tie this thing up.
So back and forth we go on opening day. 6-6, 26 hits combined. Wow. Here's Whit Merrifield. He's 0 for 3. Runner at first goes. Pitch swing and a miss. Contreras' throw is on the money. We're going to see that a lot.
Wilson Contreras has one of the best arms in baseball behind the plate, and he shows it off right there. We've talked about the rule changes. Are players going to try to steal more often? If so, that's a nice weapon to have behind the plate with a rocket arm of Contreras.
So 2-4 the put out at second if you're scoring with us at home. And quickly 2 strikes for Merrifield. Oh, he took a little off. Telegraphed that pitch, but Merrifield fouled it away. 0-2 still. Michaelis, Thompson, Verhagen, and Palante for the Cardinals pitching staff today. The Blue Jays have sent 5 pitchers at the Redbirds. Now the 1-2 pitch. Again, took a little off.
That's the bigger breaking ball by Palante. 2 pitches ago, it was the slider. I think I like that action, the slider action, a little bit better against Whit Merrifield than the bigger breaking ball.
Full count. Kiermaier's on deck. We want to see him in the 8th. But we'll see him here. A 2-out walk.
Just looked like on a couple of pitches in that at bat, Andre Palante trying to rear back and throw it through a wall. He had a couple of breaking balls where he looked like he was feeling for it. See if he can go get Kiermaier here. We talked about the splits. Palante very good against the lefties. Tons of ground balls against the left-handed hitters.
Well, the Cardinals have struck out 10 Blue Jays today. That's the first walk Toronto has earned in the game. They have had a hit batsman and 14 hits. They were tied 6-6 in an action-packed 7th inning. Kiermaier singled in the 6th. Jordan Hicks is getting ready in the Cardinals bullpen if the frame continues. Little dribbler back to the mound. That should be easy, and it is. Time to stretch in St. Louis. What a ball game. 6-6 your score. Okay, Brad, if a Cardinal player hits a home run during this inning, your Gateway Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
I feel like this is a very good inning and a very good time to be charitable. That good guy up to bat for it.
Well, Contreras, O'Neill, and Nolan Gorman are coming up. 6-6 in the 7th. And a strike. Wilson today 1 for 3 with a run scored. He threw out a runner at second a moment ago. A shot to right. On an 0-2 count. Contreras has a 2-hit day.
The ground balls are finding holes today. He wants to elevate. He does so, but Contreras goes up there with him and gets it. Did a good job of staying on top of that pitch. Nice level swing. You see the right side is wide open. You see the eyes looking that way, trying to do that and shoot it through the hole.
Well, Tyler O'Neill made some history earlier. A 2-run homer in the 3rd inning. He has homered in 4 consecutive opening days. This is only his 5th opening day in the big leagues.
Well, pretty good company now. Tied with Albert Pujols and Yachty for most opening day home runs in franchise history. Pretty good.
Native of British Columbia, has scorched Ontario once today. And takes outside, ball 2. 2-1 the count.
He's not wasting any time. It took Albert 12 opening days, Yachty 18 opening days, and 5 of them for Tyler.
Good take. Now O'Neill's in the driver's seat. What's he getting, Brad? 3 balls and a strike.
Be ready for a heater and adjust anything else. If I'm Tyler O'Neill, I got my sights set up in the zone, and I am not going to miss a fastball in this spot.
Too high. First and second, nobody out. Again, that's something Oliver Marmol told us at the end of spring training and again today. The object is to command the strike zone and make them pitch away from it. That's exactly what O'Neill did there.
And it's very easy to talk about it. It's harder to do, but we've seen these Cardinals do it. They're selective around the zone, but ready to pounce on anything in it.
Adam Cimber is the next Toronto pitcher. He'll face Nolan Gorman. Last year, and he's another reverse splits guy.
Yeah, he is for sure. This is a guy, he was busy last year, and we talked about it earlier with Andre Palante. Why bring him in to face a lefty? Well, it's the same thing with Adam Cimber. You look what he did to left-handers in 103 at-bats, only hit .214 against them, so he gets the nod here against Gorman.
Last year, Cimber inherited 31 runners, 9 of them scored. He's got 2 on, nobody out here for Nolan, who's 1 for 3, a single and 2 strikeouts. Too high. That's the pitch that gave Gorman trouble last year, that high fastball.
Yeah,
spit on it.
It really doesn't matter, like the velocity. I know Cimber's not throwing that hard, but it ends up being the location. It's just difficult. If you have an uppercut swing at all, you're not going to be able to get to that pitch up above the zone. But he's in the driver's seat right now.
You green light him?
No.
Well, that was succinct, the pitch. He didn't swing. It was a ball, but called a strike.
Pitch clock, Chip. You got to get the comments in quickly and then get out.
That's why he's the best in the business. 3 balls and a strike. Bases are loaded, and the kid is coming up. He's our Budweiser play of the game. His first big league hit.
It was the second pitch that he saw. First one was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. He let go down the middle. He got a slider, and he crushed it. A moment that Jordan Walker will never forget.
Contreras, O'Neill, and Gorman are your runners. Listen to the crowd in St. Louis. Infield halfway for Toronto. What a moment for 20-year-old Jordan Walker. Everybody on their feet. Chopper hit towards short. Bichette to second one. Throw to first. He beat it. And the Cardinals are back in front.
But not exactly what you were trying to do. You wonder, maybe not, could have made the play at home. You know that Jordan Walker runs well. The transfer, though, did not come out quickly. And Jordan Walker runs well. You'll take it.
His first big league RBI puts the Cardinals in front again. 7-6.
Where that full toolbox comes in. You're looking for the moment, the build-up. You want a big home run, a drive. He hits a ground ball to short, and he legs it out. Doesn't get doubled off.
Here's Edman. Chopper, great play. Guerrero's coming home, and the tag applied. What a throw and what a play by the Gold Glover at first base.
Well, I mean, that was tremendously athletic. A another speedy runner over at third in O'Neill. You're going to have to make a good throw. You're going to have to do so quickly. Going on contact with the ball to the right side. Just a heck of a play by Guerrero over there.
So that cuts down a run. And Donovan, your hitter, with a 3-hit afternoon. 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 ribbies. And almost got hit. One ball, 1 strike. Popped up. Bichette at short drifts back into shallow center. And that's the inning. Cardinals, though, reclaim the lead. 7-6 after 7 in St. Louis. In St. Louis on opening day.
A little bit of everything. We're seeing all kinds of offense. Battle of the bullpens at this point. Solid days for Donovan and O'Neill. Top of the order for the Blue Jays have been getting it done in the Chevy call to the bullpen. Jordan Hicks in on the action. 35 games last year. Really starting to look good at the end of the season when he came back off the IL. Was throwing a ton of strikes and throwing hard. We know he's got that.
George Springer, the leadoff man, digs in. And the Cardinals, Brad, have this game set up the way they want it. You've got Hicks throwing 100. He threw 105 in his final outing, by the way.
Just getting the cobwebs off.
So you got Hicks and Helsley for the final 6 outs with a 1-run lead. And a strike at the knees.
Yeah.
Wow.
You like how you set it up. You got Gallegos out there as well. You got plenty of options. And the thing about Jordan Hicks, it's not just the velocity, it's the movement. Think about trying to square that up.
Little pop, shallow center. O'Neill coming on, can't get there. And George Springer has a 4-hit game, a 2-strike bloop hit.
I've seen enough 2-strike or bloop hits throughout this game to last me a while. Reaches out, barely gets the end of the bat, and just finds some real estate right there in the triangle. Nobody can get to it.
So we'll see how the Blue Jays play it. Their leadoff man aboard, down a run. Bichette, the hitter, he's got 3 hits.
Well, that's another time where you're just thinking ground ball right here off the bat of Bichette. You stay down, you stay away with that sinker. Jordan Hicks is so incredibly hard to elevate. So if you're a defender, you're on your toes right now in the infield.
Little chopper. That one is going to stay fair. This is unbelievable.
Wow, that
happens. 4 hits.
Happens a lot against Jordan Hicks. Just talked about how difficult he is to square up. You end up beating it into the ground. This time it's a 101-mile-an-hour sinker that just somehow stays fair.
That ball hit 1.5 feet off the plate and then curled fair.
Well, you know, it's not the ideal launch angle nowadays, that negative 58 degrees, but sometimes it works.
Well, here's Guerrero. Again, 26 double plays last year. Could use one here. Instead, that's off the shin guard. Contreras hobbling as he makes his way into the warning track area. 100 miles an hour off the knee. And the runners move up.
Yeah, that's going to leave a mark right there with Contreras. You saw the first step. That definitely hurt him. He catches with that one knee down, 103-mile-an-hour sinker. Scoots off it and catches him clean. Chris Conroy, the trainer, out to check on Contreras.
I don't know if he can bend his knee. Right on the kneecap, it appears, at 103 miles an hour.
There is a crease there too in the padding where it opens up a little bit. You wonder if it opened up and it missed a lot of the protection. At 103, I don't know how much help those shin guards are doing anyways, but it looks like it could have caught in between the pads as they fold at the crease.
He can't continue.
Oh, jeez.
A 103-mile-an-hour pitch caught him flush on the right knee. And Contreras, with some assistance, will make his way to the Cardinal clubhouse.
They just got to hope with Wilson Contreras that this is one of those situations where it catches him, it swole up on him quickly, and hopefully it goes away quickly. I'm sure we'll get word on Contreras at some point soon, but Andrew Kisner on to do the catching now.
So this inning, again, a microcosm of what has faced the Cardinals pitching staff all day. Excuse me, swing on an 0-2 pitch that lands in center field for Springer, and then Bichette makes contact with a ball that's an inch away from his left foot, starts foul, rolls fair, and turns into an infield hit. And now the wild pitch puts runners at second and third, nobody out for Guerrero.
Yeah, and right now, if you're Jordan Hicks, I mean, this is where you would love to be able to get yourself a strikeout. You do have the base open. Not that you want to put him on, but you want to be careful with Guerrero.
Well, a man that throws 100 versus a man that hits it 100. This will be fun. 1 ball, 1 strike for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with the game on the line. Cardinals with a 7-6 lead.
The elevated sinker, 102 above the zone. Difficult, impossible on that one for Guerrero to hold up.
One-two pitch. Little pop into shallow right, down for a hit. 1 run scores. Bichette around third. Walker's throw is too high. And all the way to second is Guerrero, and Toronto has taken the lead.
The story of the day continues. Another baseball not hit hard. Another pitch. It was sinking. It was in off the plate. But Vlad Guerrero strong enough to serve it out there. Jordan Walker, we know he's got the big arm. This one just sails on him as he's trying to gun him down at the plate. And the back and forth continues.
So the Blue Jays are in front, 8-7, 30 combined hits in this game. Dalton Varsho has one of those hits for Toronto. He's also knocked in a couple of runs. Hicks has thrown 11 pitches, 3 hits and 2 runs.
And has not given up a barreled ball yet.
The old get off me ball there. That was a nasty pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, back foot slider right there to Varsho. You're geared up. You're looking for 100 to 105. You get the same arm action on that one and pulls the string on you at 87.
Well, looking ahead to the home 8th, the Cardinals will have their 2, 3, 4 hitters due. Again, Wilson Contreras had to leave this inning with an injury to his right knee. 2-2 pitch.
Just finger good news when it comes to Contreras. That is scary stuff, having him have to leave this game.
He'll be the happiest Cardinal to have an off day tomorrow.
For sure. for sure. Hopefully that's what it is. It's inflamed. Get a chance to get that down. Again, we'll find out more, and if we get anything, we'll pass it along to you. Ollie Marmol looks on, though. You know the wheels are turning for him.
Got to get an out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's been impressive for Toronto's offense for me today. Yeah, they've struck out double-digit times, but the number of foul balls they have earned today, Brad, they've really fought at the plate like the Cardinals have.
It started early, too, with Miles Michaelis. They really made him work. Any of the misses that he had, they didn't swing through any of them, it felt like. They just fouled them off.
There's a nasty pitch, and Varsho's down on strikes for the 2nd time today. There's the all-important first out.
Well, that's a slider again from Jordan Hicks. Great tumbling action. Starts it on the plate and gets that swing and miss.
So runner at second, 1 out. Alejandro Kirk, a 2-run single in the opening inning of today's game. And a strike. Little tapper back to the mound. Hicks will take it himself. He throws a fastball. And Kisner has to retreat quickly to the plate just in case Guerrero thought about trying to score on that infield roller. So he's at third, 2 outs.
Well, just a guy, again, so hard to square up. He goes out there. They communicated well. Kisner trying to call him off, but Hicks did a good job of fielding his position. Throws the rocket over to Goldie. Always got to be ready when Jordan Hicks picks up a baseball.
Yeah, check the webbing as Kevin Biggio is going to come on and pinch hit. So what's the thought process for this meeting here? You know, Hicks throws the ball low, throws that slider. You've got a runner at third and Guerrero.
Yeah, I think that the conversation is just kind of going over Biggio, going over the scouting report with him of how they want to attack. But if I'm Hicks, I'm sticking with my sinker away from him. I'm throwing that sinker. I'm throwing it down. Let him beat it into the ground like everybody else. And if you get to 2 strikes, you want to bury a back foot slider. You have the trust that Kisner is going to get in front of it and corral it with Guerrero at third.
Just in case Biggio thinks about a bunt, Arenado's in on the grass at third for the Cardinals. With Guerrero leading at third. 8-7 Toronto. I don't want to put this out in the universe, but who is the emergency catcher should something happen to Kisner?
You maybe would think the jack of all trades, Brendan Donovan, might end up being the guy.
Big swing and a miss. 1-2.
Know that there was a time last year as the team was in Boston and they were needing a guy. Ivan Herrera was making his way there leading into the game. It was going to be Donovan, then Herrera made it in time.
1-2 pitch. Just missed at 104.
Well, I'm not sure even Dan Iasonia behind the plate was able to pick that one up at 104. I mean, this is a well-located pitch. Could have gone either way. Doesn't go Hicks' way. But I like his ability to be able to throw that pitch on that side of the plate. Nice job by Kisner there.
Saved a run. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Huge run to cut down here in the Toronto 8th. And Biggio with a patient at bat, walks with 2 out. So you look at this box score for the Blue Jays. Springer 4 hits. Bichette 4 hits. Guerrero 2 hits. Chapman 3 singles and an RBI. It has been a hit fest. They have 17 of them. Now Dusty Blake is going to give Jordan Hicks a bit of a breather. He's up to 25 pitches, Brad, in this inning.
You wonder, as they give him that breather, do they think about getting somebody else up? You mentioned the pitch count elevating. They don't want it to go too far. The thing with Hicks in this inning, it's not like he's getting beat all over the place, as we've shown. You know, it's little tappers. It's the Springer hit off the end of the bat, but going to give him a little breather here as he takes on Chapman. I think these two match up very well. I know it's been a good day for Chapman. You keep the ball down with that kind of movement, I don't think Chapman can get to it.
So while the Cardinals talk it over, we'll enjoy a quick word from Great Southern Bank.
What's the best part of turning 100? You. Our neighbors we've had the opportunity to support throughout the years. Great Southern Bank, celebrating 100 years of support.
So first and third for Hicks, Chapman the batter. Beginning what could be his final season in Toronto with a bang, 3 hits and an RBI. He's a free agent. There's that one off the plate. Biggio broke away from first, but retreats. 1 ball, no strikes. On the ground towards short. Flip to second in time, and that will retire the side. Vlad Guerrero Jr. puts Toronto back in front with a 2-run single. Of everything. The Clydesdales got things started. The Cardinals Hall of Famers in the red jackets. In the pregame introductions, Big Mac was here. Generational fans of Cardinal baseball enjoying a beautiful day at Busch Stadium. We've seen 15 runs. We've seen 30 hits. All that's missing is a Cardinal comeback, and maybe Yimi Garcia will be the man that allows that to happen.
That's what it's all about. Your Chevy call to the bullpen there. The numbers in 61 games, and you're right. We have seen a little bit of everything. Tons of emotions in the ceremony. Tons of big moments. We've seen milestones. We've seen the first career hit of Jordan Walker.
We've got a delay here as Yimi Garcia gets ready to pitch. And now Dan Iasonia is going to head over to the Toronto dugout and explain what the delay is here. Do we have a pitch comm problem?
I can't tell exactly what the issue here is. John Schneider, the manager who took over in July last year. Team really responded behind him as he's talking it over with Dan Iasonia.
Yeah, Charlie Montoyo was the manager of the Blue Jays. They had a stretch of 9 losses in 11 games. Felt a change was needed. Brought in Schneider, who's an organizational guy. Began his managerial career at age 28. And you're right, they responded, made the playoffs last year with him.
At 46-28, and mystery solved. Looking for the grounds crew to come out there and repair that landing spot for Garcia. You can add a little bit of clay to that, tamp it down. Can't happen throughout a ball game. That just gets dug up a little bit.
Well, earlier today, Jim Hayes told us that the pepper grinder is a thing of the past. And Lars Nootbaar, we are told, had the salt shaker. That was the planned move today. What do you think?
Look, I think that if it catches on, then we've got another sensation here. And the more they're doing the salt shaker, the more offense that is going on. I wouldn't mind seeing one big swing salt shaker at the plate in a minute. That
would be nice. Well, right guys are up to do it. 2, 3, and 4 on the lineup card. The Cardinals have 6 outs to get at least 1 run.
Yeah, you're a team guy, Chip. I know you'll be up here doing the salt shaker as well. Not afraid to shake it.
Nice try, but I'm not going there. Whoa. What's the issue with the front slope of the mound here for a relief pitcher this time of game?
I think it's one of those where if you have a couple of pitchers in a row that are just all striding into that same landing spot, it ends up digging a hole. And then if your stride ends up being just a little bit less than theirs, you slide in to that same hole, and it's just difficult to land and stick your mechanics. So Garcia is just getting them out there to flatten out that landing spot, and appears to be good to go. They bring in some clay and fill it up.
Garcia last year, 22 holds. He was able to set things up for Jordan Romano, who's the closer for the Blue Jays. Didn't give up a run in 48 of his 61 outings last year. And the Blue Jays have a really good team. There are some folks who think they're going to knock off the Yankees, and with the injury problems the Yankees have in their rotation, a quick start for Toronto is really going to help their club.
I'm one of them. I'm one of them. I do too. Watching this club, you look at everything that they've got offensively. They got better defensively. They ended up adding some left-handed bats, as we've talked about throughout this ball game. They picked up Chris Bassett on a 3-year deal. You have to believe that Jose Barrios will have a bounce-back year after he signed a big deal. But a couple of very good ball clubs last year. That 92-70 record, too. You think about them playing in that American League East. I mean, it is a juggernaut. It's a solid Blue Jays team, and both of these teams have championship aspirations in 2023.
Two remarkably similar clubs. And a close game, as you'd expect, as Garcia misses to Nootbaar, who's been on base twice. He's walked and singled. He's 1 for 3. Well, a bloop and a blast never heard on opening day. And bloops have been the story of this one for both offenses.
Well, one of my favorite things, it doesn't happen very often, Chip, is when a pitcher asks for the mound to be fixed and then he gives it up. I enjoy that. I'd like to see it here.
Swing and a miss. 2 balls and a strike. Bichette almost right behind the second base bag. And Nootbaar took a shot to left and fouled it away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Got a feeling that there are a lot more Lars Nootbaar fans watching the broadcast now after he became a sensation in the World Baseball Classic. Representing Japan, the champions of the WBC for the 3rd time. Congratulations to them.
But his Instagram profile certainly benefited. I'll explain after the 3-2. Outside, good start. Tyne runs aboard with a leadoff walk. On March 1st, Lars Nootbaar had 59,000 followers on Instagram. After the World Baseball Classic, over 1 million.
Really?
It's like your account.
Right, but I have to dance and stuff on it. He just went out there and played baseball. That's awesome. I mean, he's just such a personality. And a heck of a player.
Well, good matchups against Garcia for Golding. He's 4 for 10 with a homer. Goldschmidt with an RBI single in the 6th. He represents the go-ahead run. Ooh, what a cut. Didn't get it. Even count. A ton of room in left for Goldschmidt. He hits it there. Nootbaar around second, on his way to third. Varsher over quickly. Lars is at third. Goldie with a double, and the Cardinals are in business.
Well, Chip, you called it. Lots of real estate out there and left. Garcia tried to elevate. It was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Goldie, though, gets the hands up, goes and gets it. And then it's time to celebrate right here as Newt is coming in. Let's drop a little out, little salt shaker. They're feeling it.
So Arenado will be the hitter. The Cardinals have 3 shots here to get a run and tie the game.
Well, Pete Walker, the pitching coach, going to talk it over with Garcia. You mentioned the numbers with Goldie against Garcia. How about Arenado? 3 for 7, a couple of home runs and a walk as well. Some good matchups for the Birds here.
So do you pitch to Arenado here and go after Kisner, who just checked into the game and struggled at the plate in spring training? Or do you pitch to Arenado with nobody out?
I'm not pitching to Arenado here. One way or another, I'd either put him on or I would put him on by virtue of not giving him anything to hit. But the hard part is, like, when you're trying to be so careful to a hitter, like, that's part of that conversation. Hey, don't give him anything. That's where you put that cement mixer slider up there and he hits it out of the ballpark.
Infield in, they pitch to him, and a sinker is cut on and missed.
Or that's when you just throw 98 down the middle, see what happens, you know?
98 with sink, ain't easy to hit. Some kind of pitch. 0-1 the count. A leadoff walk in a 1-run game, followed by a Goldschmidt double, has this sellout crowd on its feet in St. Louis. 8-7 your score. Toronto the lead. Swing drive down the left field line. Fair ball. 2 runs will score. Arenado is on his way to second. They pitch to him and pay, and the Cardinals lead.
You could tell Garcia in that spot, he was trying to throw it hard, trying to make it perfect. This time it's the backup cement mixer slider. Backs up, Nolan gets the hands in, keeps it fair. Ground rule double, bounces out. And the Cardinals have themselves a lead again. I mean, this is a heavyweight matchup today.
What did I tell you? We bat last. That might be the biggest key. So here's Andrew Kisner, first at bat, in at the corners. Toronto thinks he's bunting. He is, and it's tipped foul. Strike 1. Tell you how the game changed. I think 14 teams last year in the major leagues did not have a single sacrifice bunt.
That's hard to do.
Yeah. One here would be lovely for Andrew Kisner. 9-8 St. Louis. Too high.
What's something, too, that, to your point, it's not asked of these guys much. But it's important when you are asked to be able to execute it and get it down.
Popped to the mound. So there's the first out. Runners still in scoring position. And Tyler O'Neill, another crack at Toronto.
He got the bat out there early. It was just the 96-mile-an-hour fastball that came riding up, and not what you're trying to do, obviously.
O'Neill, a 2-run homer, highlights his day. Swing, fly ball center. Kiermaier, great jump, still coming, diving catch. That almost found some green grass. But a terrific play by the new Toronto center fielder to take away a hit.
That is such a difficult play right there. It's the sinking liner coming in. He does get that good read on it. Sliding catch just before it ends up hitting the turf here. Created a very good angle with his body, so he's not going straight in on it.
Well, the Cardinals have been awfully productive today with 2 outs. Can Gorman provide an insurance run? It's outside. He has singled, walked, and struck out twice. Ball 2. You've got righty with Walker on deck with 2 outs if you don't like this matchup for Toronto. They chose not to walk Arenado, and it cost him 2 runs. And Brad, I think that's what they're doing. Good patience here from Nolan.
Yeah, I think at this point, if you're Gorman, you're definitely taking a strike here. I think that you might as well just put him there. That's what they're going to do.
So, again, they're going to face the rookie in a big spot. Walker, his first big league hit today. He picked up his first major league RBI on a ground out in the 7th. What a debut for Jordan Walker. 2 on, 2 out. Swing and a miss. A sweeping slider has him behind in the count. Ground ball hit toward Chapman at third. He'll race to the bag, and that will send us to the 9th. Nolan Arenado with a huge day today for the Cardinals. His 2-run double gives us a 9-8 lead. Only Miguel Cabrera has more opening day RBIs among active players than Nolan Arenado, who has 14 of them. 3 have come today. A 2-run double, Brad, sends us to the 9th with the lead.
Big players step up in big moments. That's exactly what he is, and that's what Ryan Helsley is. Your Chevy call to the bullpen. The numbers in 54 games for Helsley, an all-star a year ago, and really emerged as one of the best relievers, one of the most dominant relievers in the game of baseball. Great all year, but he came right out of the gates. The first half, he had a .69 ERA last year in the first half. I mean, that's doing it.
Well, he's got the 8, the 9, and the 1 spots on the lineup card for Toronto. It starts with Whit Merrifield, who's hitless on the day. Get the leadoff man in a 1-run game. And high from Helsley, ball 1. This has been an unbelievable opening day game.
I think it just shows you what you have to look forward to when it comes to this offense. I mean, there are not going to be very many games that you are out of.
Need a strike here, but it's 3-0. Don't want to get to Bichette or Guerrero if you can avoid it. You know you have to face Springer. He's the 3rd man due, and he's got 4 hits. And a 4-pitch walk. That's how the Cardinals' 8th inning started, a leadoff walk. Let's see how Toronto plays it with Kevin Kiermaier.
Well, you could tell on that last one, there were 3 misses upstairs for Ryan Helsley. Really tried to overcorrect, missed down. Hopefully he's able to set his sights in the middle now.
Interesting, too. Kisner's just in the game. You know Helsley's thinking about throwing a strike. Would Toronto take a chance and run early in the count with Merrifield here?
Well, I mean, it's dangerous to do so, even with Kiz behind the plate. Kiz got a pretty good release also, and you got Helsley who gets it there quickly. They're going to take a check on him just in case. Whit Merrifield, we know that throughout his career with Kansas City, rip a lot of bases.
He's got a big lead at first. Kiermaier takes a strike. The other odd thing about this game is so few of the outs the Cardinals have gotten have been on the ground. If ever St. Louis would love a double play ball, this is the spot.
Yeah, not generally your guy on the mound that induces a lot of ground balls. He misses so many bats.
You're throwing 100, then you drop 88. Big hammer, 0-2.
Well, that's what makes it unfair right there. I mean, you got something like that you can pull out in that spot.
The 0-2 pitch. Oh, in and out of the glove. Had it by him at 100. Just didn't stick.
That's what he was looking to do, looking to elevate, trying to blow it by him, and Kisner doing everything that he can to catch it on the second effort. Just clanks out.
On the ground, past Goldie and into right field. Merrifield around second. He's on his way to third, and back and forth we go. Toronto has first and third. Nobody out, and the top of their order is coming up.
Well, nothing about this game should have led us to believe that this was going to be easy. It was a 90-mile-an-hour slider down and in, just couldn't bury it here, and sneaks it right past the Gold Glover Goldie over at first base.
Yeah, the hits are going to happen. It's the walks, the leadoff walks that are so tough to work around. Now, Springer's up with a 4-hit, 4-run day for Toronto. And almost to the backstop. Ball one. We got word from the Cardinal clubhouse. It's a right knee contusion for Wilson Contreras. That's why he left the game. And that's why Kisner is catching late if you're just joining us. Nasty. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Nice slider right there. Good job slowing himself down a little bit, being able to stay on top, execute that thing down and away.
This is what you talked about in spring training. With the game's on the line, how do you slow the game down when your heartbeat is 1,000,000 miles an hour?
It's hard to do. It is hard to do for sure.
Out of play. He's got him set up. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, these were the moments, to your point, that we didn't really get a chance to see in spring training, because as much as you're trying to compete and you're going out there and you're getting your reps in, but it's not like this. It's not like opening day in front of 47,000 plus when you're clinging to a 1-run lead with runners on the corners. How can you make yourself pitch within that time frame and still put the ball where you want to?
Good piece of hitting by Springer to fight that off.
A couple of good sliders right there down and away. I like the idea now of elevating with that fastball of Helsley's.
You get a strikeout here. The double plays in order to potentially end the game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Took a little off. Fly ball, shallow center. Out goes Edman. That's going to drop safely. Toronto has tied the game with another soft hit. Springer, a 5-hit opening day for Toronto. And they cash in the leadoff walk.
Yeah, George Springer's living right now for sure. Everything is going his way. It was the breaking ball from Helsley. Just lofts over the head of Edman. Good base running there by Kiermaier to go first to third.
So their leadoff man 5 hits. Bo Bichette has 4 hits. That's a pretty good 1-2 combo. And he tried to hit it to one Cardinal way and came up empty.
Yeah, the frustrating part too is it's not a hard hit ball, but if Ryan Helsley, when he goes back and looks at it, it's a breaking ball that he left in the middle. If he buries that thing, maybe he gets him to swing over it.
I think 18 runs, 34 hits.
That's just like we said, pitcher's duel. Knew it coming into it.
Poked foul. Well, looking ahead to the Cardinals' 9th, Edman, Donovan, Nootbaar, and if anybody gets on, Goldschmidt and maybe Nolan Arenado. Can Helsley keep it tied at 9? He's got first and third, nobody out. After a leadoff walk and 2 singles tied the game. And it's foul ball after foul ball for these Blue Jays hitters.
Yeah, just making them work. I think that if I'm Ryan Helsley here, though, even 0-2, I stick with that fastball. Down and away. I think you can get him there. You worry about the breaking ball to Bichette if it does back up out of the hand. If you're going to miss, you better miss down, and you better make sure that Kisner's there corralling that thing with the runner at third. That's the one right there. That's dangerous to miss there with the slider.
Well, the other thing, too, is Hicks threw a lot of pitches. Helsley's going to throw his 20th, and he has not yet recorded an out. And again, it starts with a 4-pitch walk to start the inning.
You mentioned it before. Thank goodness for an off day tomorrow.
Little tapper. They'll go to second for one. Great play by Donovan. Look the runner back to third. And keeps the double play in order for out number one.
Just heads up baseball. That's exactly what that is. He attacks that ball, gets the good hop, knows he has time to still get Springer at second base. Nice work.
So first and third for Guerrero, who had a 2-run single his last time up. Again, he is a double play candidate if you can get it on the ground. And a pitch clock violation. It'll be ball one for Guerrero.
Well, you can see that Vlad Guerrero, he was saying it to home plate umpire Dan Iasonia even before he had called it.
Boy, when the ump came out of the chute like that, I was thinking balk.
I was too.
Slider strike. Little fly ball center. That's going to carry out to O'Neill. That's going to be deep enough. Kiermaier will tag. He is going to come home, and Toronto has come back again. It's 10-9. Blue Jays in the ninth. Guerrero with his third RBI.
Guerrero didn't have to do much on that. All he did was just drop the head on it. Plenty of length to get it out there.
So it's astounding how often it happens in a major league game. Close affair. That first walk is a nightmare.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
It happened in the 8th for the Cardinals offense. It's happened in the 9th for Toronto as Varsho unloads to right. Walker has plenty of room. He's got it. And the Cardinals head to the bottom of the 9th inning. 9-1-2 coming up. They need 1 to tie and 2 to walk it off. Game with bullpen specialization, Brad, but that's what we've got on opening day today.
It has been a crazy day, and that's why it's not crazy to believe that the Cardinals can get to Jordan Romano. The Chevy called to the bullpen. Romano, an all-star last year, had a really good season. Very good fastball, good wipeout slider. He used the slider early in the counts. He likes to steal strike one, then gets in on everybody with his fastball. A tough order, but so was scraping a run against Ryan Helsley. The Blue Jays were able to do that.
Well, the right guys are coming up for the Cardinals. Tommy Edman, 2 hits and a run scored. Brendan Donovan, 3 hits, 3 runs, a 2-run homer. Lars Nootbaar has reached base 3 times and has scored once. And then, of course, Goldie and Arenado. So you get a guy on or 2. You take your chances with your superstars and maybe a walk-off on opening day. Let's see what Tommy can do. He's 2 for 4. And a strike, as you suggested, from Romano, who is an all-star. 36 saves, 4th most in the major leagues, and 19 of them were the toughest. They were 1-run saves. Quickly 0-2 for Tommy Edman. And 3 pitches retires him on strikes. 1 away in the 9th. Brendan Donovan's had a great opening day. He scored 3 times and he brought home 2 of that swing.
But just looking to add to this epic opener here for Donovan. It was a breakout year for him a year ago. Got on base at a high clip, played everywhere. He's going to be in the lineup every day.
Ooh, that's generous.
That's going to be tough. If you're getting that 4 or 5 inches off the plate, going to be difficult for Donovan.
Laced out of play, and Brendan down to his last strike.
Saw this all the time last year. You saw it again in spring training. Donovan would find himself in these counts. It would be 0-2, 1-2. All of a sudden it would be 3-2. Pitcher is thrown 7, 8, 9 pitches. Just a tough out. Does not expand his zone much.
Good take. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We've been saying it all afternoon. The way this game has gone, the big advantage the Cardinals have is they hit last. But they are facing one of the best closers in the big leagues, Jordan Romano, who saved 31 straight at one point last year. Little roller hit towards second. Merrifield's got that, and the Birds are down to their last out. And Lars Nootbaar will be your hitter. 2 walks, a single, and a run scored for Nootbaar.
I don't know if it says more about the day with the back and forth or just a larger look at the Cardinals offense. Even in this spot, down 1, 2 outs against Romano, you still feel like there's something going to happen here.
But now we're down to our last strike.
I still feel it, Chip. Not as much as I did before that strike, but I feel it.
Well, the last one, they say, is often the most difficult to get. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But it's not to be. The Toronto Blue Jays win on opening day in an unbelievable back and forth game. 10-9 your final score.
This has got a chance to be quite the series. One that looked like it was going to be lopsided early. Battled back, lose it late. Unfortunate loss for the Cardinals, but what a game to kick things off in 2023.
19 runs, 34 combined hits as the Blue Jays win round 1 in St. Louis. 10-9 your final. The postgame show is coming up next.